The ad on my screen is the same one that's been haunting me for weeks. A gaming streamer and his sidekick mugging at the camera about how smooth the gameplay is because of a new phone. How the old one got recycled on Spinner for 4,000 yuan. Engineer coming to the door. Payment on the spot. It doesn't matter what I'm browsing. Food videos, games, girls dancing, science documentaries. This ad forces itself in, from the most bizarre angles, like a lingering ghost I can't shake. I curse under my breath and stand up to go grab a Coke from the fridge. Stomach empty, takeout still not arrived. Figuring a cold drink will at least settle my nerves. Just as I pop the tab, the world starts spinning. Not metaphorically, literal physical vertigo as if I've been tossed into a tumble dryer, everything stretching and warping. The Coke flies out of my hand and I'm yanked downward by some force I can't resist. Weightless, screaming out some half-formed curse, and then with a thud I slam onto a hard, cold floor hard enough to nearly split my tailbone in 8 pieces. I hiss through the pain, propping myself up, and what my palms touch isn't the familiar floor tiles of my rented room. It's rough, damp, smelling of earth. I look up, pitch black everywhere except for a crystal-like object about a dozen meters above my head, emitting a faint white glow that barely illuminates the space around me. It's a cave, roughly 7 meters aside, maybe 50 square meters, the 4 walls uneven rock, the air thick with dust and mildew. Kidnapping, I think, or did I just drop dead? My pockets come up empty. Phone, wallet, keys, all gone. A cold, emotionless mechanical voice then rings out simultaneously through the cave, and inside my head, welcoming me to the mine tunnel survival game. It explains that every human on Blue Star between 16 and 60 has been teleported to their initial mine tunnel, that physical abnormalities have been healed, that time on Blue Star has been frozen at the moment of teleportation, so my relatives and friends are safe as long as I find a way back. My only goal here is to survive. It lays out the rules. Everyone starts with 50 square meters and an ordinary pickaxe. Air circulation handled by the magic crystal overhead. A new pickaxe refreshes each morning at 8 a.m., and it has a chance of breaking during excavation, after which I cannot dig for the rest of the day. Excavating the walls yields supplies, treasure chests, special items, or monsters. Live or die, there is no exit option. The voice wishes me an enjoyable game, and then it vanishes. I stand stunned for a good 10 seconds. All of humanity. Mine tunnel survival. I pinch my thigh hard and the sharp pain confirms this is real. I force myself to breathe. As a veteran web novel reader, I know this global transmigration trope by heart, and panic won't help. I concentrate, and sure enough a translucent virtual panel appears before my eyes, carrying a handful of simple icons. Attributes, inventory, crafting, chat, trade. The chat icon has a flashing red dot, and there's no way I can resist that, so I click in. 2 channels, world and regional. The world channel is an avalanche of messages scrolling too fast to read. Someone was in the shower, someone thinks this is a massive VR game. Someone else insists it's real because they banged their head against the wall. Someone welcoming the change of pace with glee. Billions of humans dumping panic, confusion, excitement, and despair into one endless feed. I exit and click regional instead. Slower but still chaotic. People asking if anyone from Area B2 is around. Complaining about hunger. Warning about falling rocks. Someone offering protection in exchange for pretty girls. My own ID sits there on the panel. Player Jinmo, serial number B2. 9527. A number that sounds far too familiar. My lip twitches. Better to figure out what I'm actually capable of. I open attributes. Health 160 out of 160 with a note that 0 means death. Sanity 100 out of 100, with hallucinations and dropping stats as it decreases. Strength 8, Agility 9, Constitution 8, Spirit 9, Attack 8 plus 3 from the pickaxe, Defense 0, Luck a question mark. The footnote informs me a normal healthy adult Blue Star male sits at 10 across the board. Constitution and Strength both 8. I can't even reach average. My life as a sub-healthy shut-in has been digitized, and I figured the only reason agility and spirit nudged higher was years of surfing the web and dodging my landlord. A hell mode starting point, I think, trying to find humor in the misery. Then the mechanical voice returns, announcing that deployment is complete and the talent system is now open. That talents are miracles and variables, and my only reliance, ranked S through F, and I'm to open the talent treasure chest before me to awaken my destiny. A palm-sized chest materializes in front of me. Talent. This is the key, the capital every web novel protagonist uses to turn the tables. Weak stats don't matter if the talent is top tier. Even a handcart can drive on the highway. I open the chest immediately, and a rotating spinner appears as the system announces the extraction is underway. While it spins, I watch the chat channels melt down. Faster reactors than me crowing and sobbing in tandem. D-rank night vision, C-rank plant affinity with a joke about befriending moss. F-rank hair volume doubling on someone already going bald. D-rank precise throwing from someone without so much as a rock to throw. Most pulls are D and F. C-rank draws envy. The F-ranks are bizarre participation prizes like ventriloquism mastery, cold resistance plus 5%, soul hardening. Then 3 dazzling golden banners occupy every chat interface. A global announcement congratulates player A104556 for awakening the S-rank talent elemental control. Midwinter, player S580002 for sword heart clarity, and player M31415 for genetic berserk. Each rewarded a special structured treasure chest and declares the top 3 S-rank slots filled. The chat erupts, a royal flush at the start, the Hulk, an archmage rhythm, envy leaking sideways. The gap between people is suddenly wider than the gap between people and dogs. I curse at my still rotating spinner internally, asking why it's so slow. The wheel finally comes to rest on the C region. A plain white beam of light zips into my forehead, and the system congratulates me on awakening the C-rank talent recycle. Able to recycle tools, structures, equipment, and other items with a chance to return basic raw materials. Original item lost if recycle fails. My heart sinks. C-rank junk collecting. Dismantling a worn pickaxe for a piece of scrap iron and a stick of wood, and it might not even succeed. Like scratching a lottery ticket and reading "thank you for playing." Heaven wants me dead, I think, and resign myself to checking the talent page just to see how pathetic the entry is. The moment I open it, the text displaying recycle distorts into meaningless garbled code. I start to wonder if the system is glitching, and the next second a logo I would know anywhere. A red recycling symbol made of 2 arrows pops into view, followed by a cheerful ding in electronic synthesized voice, nothing like the cold mechanical tone. Overflowing with salesman enthusiasm. A suitable host has been detected. It announces the spinner recycle system is binding, 10/50/99, binding successful, and congratulates me on obtaining the unique talent spinner recycle. Before I can react, a palm-sized fiery red cartoon phone projection zips out of my panel and floats in front of me, a cheeky grin on its screen. It greets me as its dear host and introduces itself as my exclusive system spirit, Spinner, promising to help me turn trash into treasure and reach the pinnacle of life. I stare at the incessant red phone and realize exactly what happened. I ask flatly whether I've just been bound by an advertisement that came to life, and Spinner happily tells me I can think of it that way. The ordinary recycle talent is inefficient junk collecting, it explains, but Spinner Recycle is different. It focuses on high-value items, any technological creation, luxury goods, precious metals, works of art, anything it judges a good thing. What I get back isn't fragmented materials, but usable finished supplies, and sometimes even treasure chests. It calls itself a mythical talent surpassing S-rank, the only bug in this cold world, my VIP express lane to the pinnacle of life. I raise a hand to stop the sales pitch, temples throbbing, and ask where exactly in this damned rock cave I'm supposed to find luxury goods and technology, whether I'm meant to dig an LV bag out of the wall. I own nothing but torn pajamas and a broken pickaxe, no matter how grand the future it paints. I need flour to make the cake. Excellent question, Spinner replies, shifting into professional customer service mode, and explains the 2 sources. First, excavation. The world is littered with relics and treasures from the old era buried deep in the earth, and diligent digging may unearth technological products, ancient artworks, even relics of alien civilizations. Second, treasure chests. Alongside food, water, and materials, chests occasionally yield miraculous items like an old but functional smartwatch or a rare record from another world. All high-quality sources for recycling. It also informs me that the system currently allows 10 recycles per day. Then it spins once, tells me not to hesitate, that my first pot of gold waits in the rock wall ahead, and zips back into my talent panel, leaving behind a lingering slogan, Spinner Recycle, making every discovery worthwhile. I feel like my brain has been formatted by marketing. Another global announcement startles me out of the daze, noting all human talents are now active, urging players to strive for survival, and as a balancing measure granting D-rank and F-rank talent players increased mining yield today and halved pickaxe breakage. It also reminds us about the Mine Tunnel Survival Basic Manual in our backpacks. The world channel erupts again. The 3 gods have already taken off. Us mortals are done for. At least the yield is higher today. Wait, there's a manual. I catch the last line too and open the backpack. 50 slots mostly empty, and among them a small booklet with a craft paper cover. I open it mentally and skim through. The mine tunnel starts at 50 square meters and can be expanded through items, with all excavated walls resetting at 8 a.m. daily though placed structures and items persist. The pickaxe is 1 per day, common quality, with a 5% break chance per item dug, and can be upgraded or reinforced via upgrade scrolls or enchantment books. Treasure chest tiers 1 white, green, blue, purple, orange, red, gold, rainbow, with various specials mixed in and quality scales with rarity of the drops. Monsters may drop materials or chests, though not all do. Blueprints, the key to crafting, come from chests or special events. The trading system is the official platform. Caution advised on private deals. I memorize every basic rule, especially the daily wall reset, which means fresh opportunities each morning without worrying about caving in my own home. The 5% break is a sword hanging over every head. Not high, not low, but if it breaks before I've dubbed food, I starve. I close the manual. Other people's S-rank talents have nothing to do with me. The only things I can rely on are this advertisement come-to-life system and the cold pickaxe in my hand. I walk to the wall, grip the rough wooden handle with both hands, and the solid sensation transmitted through my fingers finally brings a sliver of calm to my chaotic mind. Forget it. I'll just start digging. I adjust my breathing, aim at a loose-looking section of rock face, and swing with everything I have, bracing for the recoil to numb the webbing between my thumb and forefinger. But the anticipated pain never comes. A crisp crunch, and the pickaxe slips into the rock like it's cutting tofu. No resistance. Only a faint, strange energy passing through the handle that disintegrates the stone structure. A rock the size of a human head breaks off and falls at my feet, and a notification announces I've acquired 1 stone material. I glance down at my not-so-thick arms and my unremarkable pickaxe. The tools in this game clearly can't be judged by normal standards, and that's fantastic news. I swing again and again, thunking rhythmically into the wall. Stone material, nothing. Copper ore, nothing. The notifications string together, and soon a small pile of dusty stone and a piece of metallic ore accumulates in front of me. The work is monotonous, but each acquisition feels like a shot of adrenaline. While I dig, I keep half an eye on the regional channel as background noise. B2-788 screams that he just dug up a wild dog and it's charging him. B2-1001 asks if he's alive. B2-3456 reports a gigantic beetle that luckily lost interest and crawled back into its hole. Then B2-7788 returns to announce he killed the dog with his pickaxe, but its body turned to light, leaving only a damaged dog hide, not even a scrap of meat. Another player, B2-9999, gloats about opening a green treasure chest with an excellent quality axe and a piece of roast meat inside, inviting everyone to be jealous. The channel floods with curses and holy street actions. A green chest, 1 tier above white, a real prize. I look at my broken rocks and think again about the gap between people and dogs, grit my teeth and swing faster. Then the feedback in my hand changes. The pickaxe doesn't meet hard rock. Something else, soft and wrong. I jump back 2 steps, eyes locked on the spot I just struck. A depression, soil crumbling, cracks spreading like a spider web. A sharp, ear-piercing screech erupts from the cracks. The wall explodes, and a yellowish-brown shape shoots at my face like a cannonball. My 9 points of agility carry me through an extremely clumsy roll that barely gets me out of the way, and the shadow slams into the spot I just vacated, kicking up dust. Only then do I see it clearly. A monster over half a meter long, shaped like a groundhog but all bulging muscle, fangs and claws gleaming with cold metallic light, blood-red eyes full of violence. Information floats into view. Digging rat, weakened version, white common grade, beast species, HP 60, attack 8, defense 5, a common mine tunnel creature that attacks any trespasser. White common is the lowest tier, which calms me slightly, but 8 attack power will still gut a chunk of my health if it lands. The rat squeaks and charges again, 4 limbs clawing the ground at astonishing speed, and in this cramped space there's nowhere real to dodge. I grit my teeth and harden my resolve. Running is impossible. I have to fight. I grip the pickaxe with both hands and hold it across my chest. And just as the rat leaps at me, I twist sharply and swing the pickaxe at its head. With everything I have, no technique, pure instinct. Clang. A dull thud like hitting an iron pot, and a red -15 pops over the rat's head. Effective, but before I can celebrate, the recoil numbs my arms and sends me stumbling backward, while the rat merely shakes its head, apparently unharmed, and snarls again. Its defense is only 5, but my moderate attack power won't kill it cleanly. It lunges at my throat and I dive under, giving up on meeting it head-on, relying instead on my higher agility to play King of Chin circles the pillar. Except its Jinmo circles the pile of ore, keeping the dug stone between us. The rat is fast, but its brain doesn't seem to work, charging straight every time, and I use the terrain to dodge again and again. Then, when it overshoots and briefly stiffens, I dart in and stab downward with the pickaxe tip at the back of its neck. Pfft. Weakness damage, -25. The tip cuts far deeper than the blunt swing did. The rat shrieks horribly, blood spurting, twisting wildly to throw me off, claws flailing. I refuse to let go even as the force pulls me off balance, my HP dripping down with every flail. -3, -4, -3, falling to 145 in a few seconds. I roar at it to die and put my full weight on the pickaxe, twisting it downward. A crisp crack of bone, weakness attack -22, and the rat stiffens, the light leaving its eyes, its body going limp. A notification confirms I killed 1 digging rat, and the corpse dissolves into motes of white light. I plop onto the ground, gasping, heart pounding. The first fight was far more perilous than I'd imagined. Without that extra point of agility, I'd have died on the spot. Nothing seems to have dropped from the corpse. My luck holds steady. But as I start to stand, my eye catches something in the crater the rat burst out of. A palm-sized rectangular object with an ancient design, black plastic casing, reflecting a faint glimmer. Was that a PHS phone? To anyone else, it's worthless electronic junk. To me, it's brighter than gold. The cheerful voice rings in my mind, announcing detection of a high-value item eligible for recycle. Old PHS phone, no power. I issue the command with my mind. Recycle. The system confirms, runs the evaluation, value low, technology content low, integrity good, and declares the recycle successful. Spinner's phantom materializes from the panel, holding a virtual tray, and congratulates me on the rewards. Rye bread times 1, purified water, 500 milliliters times 1, a sealed water bottle, a piece of bread wrapped in oil paper smelling of wheat, and a palm-sized wooden white chest appear on the ground in front of me. Water, food, and a chest. I haven't eaten all day, and between the digging and the rat fight, I'm starving. So I snatch the rye bread without caring whether it's clean, and take a massive bite. The coarse, slightly sour texture that would normally be hard to swallow now tastes like the most exquisite delicacy I've ever had. I unscrew the water and gulp several large mouthfuls, the sweet, clean liquid sliding down my parched throat, and feel like I'm being pulled back from the brink of death. Half the bread in me, the burning in my stomach finally eases, and my gaze falls on the white chest. Lowest tier, but having it beats having nothing. Please don't be thank you for your patronage, I mutter as I tap the open button. A soft creak, like an old wooden door, a brief white light, and several items settle at the bottom. I lean in and read. Purified water, 500 milliliters. Compressed biscuits times 2. Flint times 1. Worn t-shirt times 1. Rusted dagger times 1. Plain, meager spoils, but a white chest is a white chest. No blueprint, no special item. Not even jerky. The Paupers edition next to a green. Forget it, I think. Even a mosquito's leg is meat, and these are all urgently needed. I adjust my mindset fast. In a hellish start like this, every scrap of supply is priceless. I pick up the water and the 2 biscuits first. Food is hard currency, life-saving, and with the bread and water I got from the PHS, I won't starve for a day or two, which already puts me ahead of most. The flint is rough in my hand and means I can make fire. Light, warmth, security. Then I pick up the worn t-shirt. Quality rough, effect none. Described as a t-shirt dug out of some trash heap with 2 holes, but better than nothing. My pajamas ripped during the fight, so I pull the shirt on without hesitation. Finally the dagger, rusted dagger, quality rough, attack 1-3, effect none, described as rust covered and likely to dull cutting butter but better than fists. I swing it twice. It's light, short, unthreatening, but if I dig up another monster I can fight with it instead of risking the pickaxe mid-swing. My mood stabilizes. Nothing instant, but every item genuinely improves my odds. I click back into the regional channel, and the atmosphere is even more desperate now. Someone begs for a single sip of water, offering 20 stone material. Someone else sobs about a cave spider bite on his leg. Another is going crazy alone in his cave. Another's pickaxe broke on the first morning. Reading all this, I appreciate my own position better. I have food, water, basic tools, a weapon, and an intact pickaxe. Instead of digging again right away, I click into the trade icon, and a rudimentary platform pops up. Few listings and ridiculous prices. 10 stone material asking for a bottle of purified water. A fine axe at 95% durability, asking a pickaxe upgrade scroll, or a rare blueprint. Slime mucus asking for 1 shoe any style. I click my tongue as I scroll. Food and water are absurdly inflated. 10 stones is dozens of swings assuming nothing else drops. And people are trading that kind of labor for a single sip. The lucky green chest player is holding his axe out for strategic trades. To the guy selling slime mucus for a shoe, I can only wish good luck. Most listings are materials for food, no electronic products yet. Then one entry catches me. Wooden shield blueprint fragment, 1 of 3, asking 2 bottles of purified water. So blueprints can come in pieces. Another bottomless pit with no knowing when a full set completes. But that itself proves how precious blueprints are. Time passes and sweat beads on my forehead. My arms feel detached. Though the rule's power makes digging less strenuous, the repetition still demands real force, and another small pile of stone material with 2 pitiful copper ores is all I have to show for it. This efficiency is too low, I mutter, leaning against the wall to rest, and habitually open the regional channel, the only entertainment I have during breaks, and honestly, listening to other people's disasters improves my mood. Sure enough, the channel is still lamenting. Someone could eat a cow and will trade all their ores for food. Someone thinks he has a fever from the wet cold. Someone else nearly buried himself and now has psychological trauma looking at walls. My heart is unmoved. This is the true portrayal of ordinary people in the survival game. Then a message snags my attention. B2. 3838 complains he dug all morning and only got a broken Canon DSLR camera. No power. Asks if the thing can be eaten. The replies roll in. Post-apocalyptic selfies for the obituary. Put it on moments if you can still find power. Even a rock makes a better weapon. And B2. 3838 curses them all to get lost. A DSLR camera, I think, worth more than the PHS. An opportunity to get rich. I click the player list, find B2. 3838, and send him a private message asking if he wants to trade. After half a minute he replies cautiously. Trading is fine. He needs food. But what do I want this for? It can't be eaten or drunk. Does it have another use? My mind races, and I reply that my talent can repair some electronics. I haven't had a suitable item to test, and if he finds more in the future he can come to me too. He asks for food. I offer half a compressed biscuit, high calories. Not much else to give. Compressed biscuits aren't much to me as long as I have electronics to recycle, but for other survivors right now they're strategic gold. He agrees instantly. Trade, of course. Half is enough. The system prompt comes up. Player B2. 3838 initiating trade. Item Canon DSLR camera no power. Requested item compressed biscuit half. Do I agree? I agree. Half a biscuit vanishes and a black DSLR that looks nearly new appears in the slot. He then sends a friend request. I click agree casually. He replies gushing that I'm his lifesaver. That any useless electronic junk he digs up from now on will go to me. That he just begs for a bite to eat, boss. I reply with 2 words, no problem, and internally I'm blooming. A stable junk supplier, just like that. I close the chat and call Spinner to work. Coming, dear, says the familiar cheeky red phantom. I point at the camera and command, recycle. Spinner detects a high-value item. Canon 400D runs the assessment. Value medium, tech content general, collection value general, completeness excellent, declares the recycle successful, and somersaults in the air. A larger virtual tray appears, and Spinner announces the rewards. Cheeseburger times 1, iced cola 500 milliliters times 2, green treasure chest times 1, a warm burger in a paper box, aroma of meat and cheese still rising off it, 2 bottles of cola with condensation beating on the glass, and a wooden chest glowing faintly green. Tears actually slip from the corners of my mouth. The half loaf of bread is long spent. A burger, hot, cola, iced. What kind of heavenly life is this? I rip the burger open and take a huge bite. Soft bread, juicy beef patty, melted cheese, crispy lettuce exploding on my taste buds. Never in my life have I had a burger this good. I down half a bottle of cola in one pull, icy bubbles washing down my throat, refreshing me from head to toe, and nearly groan with pleasure. Every cell in my body cheers. I let out a satisfied burp and my eyes finally settle on the green glowing chest. The thing lies quietly, emitting a firefly halo, as if silently declaring its uniqueness. The white chest's contents were meager but useful. A green is a tier higher. I take a deep breath. The greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment, I remind myself. It might just be nicer food and water. Keep calm, keep calm. I tap the chest with a hint of reverence. A hum, significantly louder than the white one. An emerald light bursts from the cracks, soft and not dazzling, filling my mind tunnel with a reassuring green. The light fades. Only a handful of items inside, but everyone looks far more refined than the white tier. Self-heating military ration times 1, energy drink times 1, miner's gloves times 1, simple forging furnace blueprint times 1. Holy crap. The curse rips out of me when I see the last item. A blueprint, not a fragment, and for a smelting furnace no less. My blood boils. A smelting furnace means leaving the Stone Age, crafting metal tools with my own hands. I check the others. The self-heating military ration, excellent quality, pulls a fuse to self-heat, restores hunger fully and slowly recovers stamina over an hour. Divine tool for outdoor work, potentially life-saving. The energy drink, excellent, restores 50% fatigue instantly, but the description about taurine letting me dig another 100 times. Another great item, 1 sip and I'm revived mid-mine. The miner's gloves, white common, strength +1 with hand protection against pickaxe friction, described as the first step to becoming a legendary miner. I pull them on immediately. The soft leather fits perfectly with thickened knuckle protection, and I feel my strength nudge up. My panel confirms strength has risen from 8 to 9. Every item is top-notch, but none matches the shock of the blueprint. I pick up the parchment and read. Simple forging furnace blueprint, green quality, no learning requirement, unlocks construction in the crafting panel. Materials needed, stone material times 50, copper ingot times 10, iron ingot times 10. The spark of civilization begins in this simple furnace. The description reads, it smelts ores and forges basic metal tools and weapons. Comes with simple white tool and weapon recipes. Stone, copper ingot, iron ingot. I check the backpack. Over 20 stone already mined, I can make up the rest. I have some iron ore and copper ore from earlier, but the blueprint needs ingots, meaning I need to smelt first. Without a smelting furnace, I can't smelt. A vicious cycle. No, I open the crafting panel and find an inconspicuous option at the base of the list. Campfire, crafted from wood times 5 and stone material times 5, ignited with flint, provides illumination, warmth, simple food cooking, and ore smelting with extremely low success rate and massive loss. So the system left the most primitive path open. I can smell with a campfire, but efficiency and success rate are appalling. 1 ingot out of a dozen portions would count as lucky. The simple forging furnace is the structure that multiplies both dramatically. I exhale long and store everything. Once the furnace is built, my development will leave everyone else far behind. I glance at the regional channel. People still scrabbling for a sip of water or a biscuit. Some discussing whether they can eat dirt, while I'm about to start climbing the tech tree of the Industrial Revolution. The feeling is absolutely awesome. I grip the pickaxe tighter, no longer hesitating. The rock in front of me has changed meaning. It's no longer cold stone, but the copper and iron ingots and the cornerstones of the future. Wood, I mutter to myself. The trade channel has wood priced absurdly high. 1 unit of food for 1 wood, not worth it. And looking around, perhaps because everyone just started, no one has listed electronics yet. If I want recyclable material, I may have to wait for the market to mature. The manual mentioned a chance of digging tough roots, which count as wood. Small chance, but worth trying. With the gloves on, my next swing sends a whole large chunk of rock tumbling at once. One strength point really is concrete. Good. This is the feeling. If I can dig wood, build a campfire, smelt ingots, the furnace rises instantly, and then metal tools and weapons are within reach. I feel endless strength, raising the pickaxe high and smashing down again and again. Already seeing piles of wood, copper ore, iron ore waving at me. After an hour of mechanical digging and the steady sound of falling rocks, a crisp, heartbreaking snap echoes through the tunnel. My hand goes light. Exhaustion hits me. I freeze in place as if someone pressed pause, lower my head slowly, and see only half the bare handle left in my grip. The other half, with the pick head clanks to the ground, kicks up a small cloud of dust and dissolves into motes of light. A system notification sounds mercilessly, warning that my pickaxe is broken and I cannot continue digging today, with a new pickaxe refreshing at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Stunned. Broken just like that. How many items had I even pulled today? Less than 20, and I still got hit by the 5%. Damn you, dog developer. I grind out through my teeth. Too much of a scam. They dangle the furnace blueprint to show me the light of hope, then confiscate my only production tool the next second. Like winning a $5 million lottery only to be hit by a car on the way out. Forget it, I tell myself. Earlier no one was selling electronic junk on trade, but an hour has passed. Maybe some unlucky soul dug some up by now. I've used only 2 recycle chances today on the PHS and the DSLR. 8 left. My capital for a comeback. The gloom clears and my thinking sharpens. If I can't dig trash myself, I'll trade for it. I inventory what's tradable. I don't sell materials. Those are for construction. Food is hard currency, but as long as I have electronic junk to recycle, it's the thing I'll have most of. Iced cola is too luxurious to spend. Self-heating rations and energy drinks are strategic lifesavers to hold. What remains are the starter items. Half a rye bread, 3 bottles of purified water, 1 compressed biscuit, and half a compressed biscuit. I open the trade platform and type the keywords I actually want. Broken, damaged, unusable, junk. And a pile of strange listings pops up. Leaking iron bucket asking anything edible. Wooden stool with a broken leg asking purified water. Burned circuit board asking stone material times 25. Unlucky people have been digging up electronics after all. This isn't a trading platform, it's a scrap collection station made for me. My gaze locks on one listing. Seller B2. 2222. A broken gold watch asking any single serving of food. That's the one. I message him, ask if it's still available, and he answers instantly, eagerly, calling me boss. I offer half a compressed biscuit. He agrees 3 times over and initiates the trade. Seconds later, a gold watch with a shattered face and half-broken strap sits in my backpack, and without even looking it over, I command the system to recycle. Spinner detects a high-value item. Damaged Rolex gold watch, with a hint of unconcealed excitement. A Rolex. Even broken, its value can't compare with a PHS or DSLR. This is a luxury item. Precious metal. Recycle, I murmur. The system runs the assessment. Value excellent, precious metal content high, tech content low, integrity poor, and declares the recycle successful. Spinner snaps its fingers dashingly, and a virtual tray emitting an eerie green glow materializes, announcing the rewards. Iron ingot times 5, copper ingot times 10, wood times 20, green treasure chest times 1, with a precious metal recycle bonus triggered. Iron ingot, copper ingot, wood. Exactly the basic materials I was agonizing about assembling for the smelting furnace, delivered as a package. And another green chest on top. A massive profit. I suppress the urge to open the green chest immediately and first stash the materials, and as I watch the counters tick up beside stone, wood, copper ingot, iron ingot, and an unprecedented sense of security surges through me, the cornerstone of industry. 7 recycle chances left. Can't stop. Strike while the iron's hot. I reopen the trading platform, eyes shining as I survey the trash listings like a scavenger hunting treasure in a garbage heap. I lock on to seller B2. 6119 burnt circuit board, asking stone material times 25. I'd noticed him before. 25 stone is absurd, enough that breaking your pickaxe first is a real possibility. Clearly he was hoping to fleece someone. But now I message him directly and offer half a rye bread. B2. 6119, who has been sighing away in his mind tunnel, thinks he's hallucinating. Half a rye bread for a palm-sized circuit board he dug up by accident. How is that different from a pie falling from the sky? He asks if I'm serious. I tell him yes, hurry up, I'm in a rush, and he trades instantly. A blackened, scorched-smelling board slots into my backpack, and I recycle without hesitation. Spinner detects a burned motherboard chip, succeeds, and hands back copper ore times 5 and a white treasure chest times 1. A white chest. I'm not surprised. Instead, I nod. Mosquito legs are still meat and small gains add up. Even the lowest value electronic trash can consistently yield resources, which is all I need to prove. But trading one by one in private messages is too slow. If I'm doing this, I'm going big. I take a deep breath, open the regional channel, draft a message and post. High price recycle. I'm mass recycling various electronic trash, damaged mechanical parts, discarded luxury goods, and incomprehensible technological artifacts. Anything you think is useless junk, message me, exchanging in food, water, and basic materials. Bulk welcome, reputation guaranteed. The channel goes silent for 2 seconds. Then it explodes like water poured into hot oil. What is this situation? High price recycle of trash. Boss, am I seeing wrong food for junk? I just dug up a rusty lump of iron with 2 gears. Do you accept? B2. 3838 pops up. Boss, I have a broken Bluetooth headset. I saved it for you. Someone else offers ripped black stockings with lace edges. I automatically ignore that one. Dozens of private messages pour in. The fish have taken the bait. I open B2. 3838's message first. A broken Bluetooth headset for some water. I offer half a bottle. He accepts. I skillfully run the trade. Half a bottle of purified water for a headset with 1 earpiece and a crooked charging port. From experience, recycled value tracks complexity and rarity, and by the icon this is a brand name, so the yield should be decent. Recycle, I command. Spinner detects a damaged high-end brand Bluetooth headset and happily bounces out, circling the headset twice. But this time it doesn't start immediately. A different system prompt rings in my head, congratulating me on completing 5 effective recycles and achieving the hidden milestone Scrap Acquisition Station Master, and announcing that the spinner recycle system has been upgraded with a new function, Selective Recycle. I focus on it. Function name Selective Recycle. Function effect. When recycling a specific item, the system provides 2 reward options based on potential value, and I choose 1. Life is a high-stakes gamble. The description reads, play it safe or go all in. The power of choice is now yours. The power of choice. Previously, each recycle was entirely a blind box. Now I get to preview the prize pool, and although it's only 1 of 2, the operational space and fault tolerance jump dramatically. Just then, Spinner finishes the headset assessment, and 2 trays of different colored light float before me side by side. Because I'm activating the function for the first time, the rewards are doubled. Option A is rye bread times 3 and purified water, 500 milliliters times 3. Option B is white treasure chest times 3. Option A is stability. 3 loaves, 3 bottles, a solid haul that secures the next few days and gives me more capital to acquire more trash in a virtuous cycle. The safest rational choice. Option B is the unknown. I choose B. Selection confirmed. 3 plain white chests plop 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 at my feet. I then pull the other white and green chests from my backpack and set them together, rubbing my hands with a fly's grin. Before opening a chest, one must observe the metaphysics of luck. I played games in my old world too, and I know the path. Open the best one first and get bad luck, and my mentality collapses instantly. The correct approach is to prime the luck. Burn off all the bad luck on the white chests first, then finish with the main event, the green. May the system God bless me. May the 3 pure ones possess me. Amen. I mutter under my breath, and resolutely open the first white chest, the one I got from the circuit board. A nondescript white light flashes and it springs open. Purified water 500 milliliters times 1, stone material times 2, moldy rag times 1. My mouth twitches at the rag emitting a suspicious smell. Stingy. Very good, I tell myself. Bad luck -1. And store the items. Second chest, one of the 3 from the Bluetooth headset. Open. A white flash again, rye bread times 1, wood times 2, sock with a hole times 1. I stare silently at the suspicious smelling sock. Does the system have a vendetta against me, specifically handing out used undergarments? It's fine, it's all priming, it's all preparation. Bad luck -2. I tap the 3rd chest with a slightly trembling hand, refusing to believe. Buzz, stone material times 5, and an inferior whetstone times 1. I pause, then smile faintly. Inferior whetstone, white quality, slight durability repair on tools or weapons. Better than nothing and certainly better than biting with your teeth. Inferior, yes, but the first repair item I've gotten. My pickaxe is broken, but the rusty dagger still works, and the whetstone ensures it won't get scrapped from overuse. Not bad. My luck is turning. Confidence soaring, I look at the 4th and final white chest. Give me a blueprint, I demand. A fragment will do. I tap it. The white light this time seems just a touch brighter. Inside, besides a compressed biscuit, a yellowed incomplete sheet of parchment rests at the bottom. A blueprint fragment. I snatch it up. Basic water purifier blueprint fragment 1/3. Green quality. 3 fragments required to synthesize the complete blueprint. Clean water sources are the foundation for survival. Good, good, good. Only a fragment, but green quality and a water purifier. With strategic significance no less than the smelting furnace. It means any murky source I find later can be converted to safe drinking water. And blueprints for wells will surely follow. 4 white chests, escalating from garbage to useful tools to a blueprint fragment. Priming the luck metaphysics is truly the GOAT. I feel my state peak, take a deep breath, and turn to the final and most dazzling item, the green chest from the Rolex. Success or failure rides on this move. I gently tap the green lid. A vibrant emerald light, far denser and more vital than the white, bursts forth and floods the mine tunnel jade. Runes of hope seem to flow within the radiance. As the light fades, several items of different lusters settle inside. Rye bread ×3, life recovery potion, small ×1, comfortable single bed blueprint ×1. A blueprint, another complete one. I pick it up and read. Comfortable single bed blueprint, green excellent, no learning requirement. Unlocks construction in the crafting panel. Materials, wood ×30, softened beast hide ×5, cotton ×10. Description, say goodbye to the cold hard ground. A good bed lets you forget the day's fatigue, and when you wake the next morning you'll find the world has become beautiful. I check the object's attributes. Comfortable single bed, type building furniture, green quality. Resting on the bed for 8 hours fully restores fatigue, and grants the beneficial effect energetic, a 24-hour buff of +1 to all attributes. All attributes +1. A divine skill. I know exactly how precious an attribute point is. The miner's gloves only gave me +1 strength. Sleeping in this bed once grants +1 across the board, several points more than I currently have. A comprehensive boost to strength, agility, constitution alike. A super buff, claimable daily. Nothing right now feels more exciting or secure than simply becoming stronger. I begin calculating. I have some wood but need more. Softened beast hide and cotton will need to come from monsters or chests. I look at the blueprint and can almost see myself asleep on the soft bed. But I have no softened beast hide and no cotton. Looks like I have to fall back on my old trade. I chuckle self-deprecatingly, my gaze returning to the spinner recycle system. 5 recycle chances left today. 5 chances to gather the materials for sleeping on a real bed. I don't hesitate. I click into the regional channel, still flashing wildly, where my high-price recycle post has been pushed to the hottest topic, and private message notifications are overflowing. I activate filter mode and don't waste words. I'm no longer the desperate newbie. After several recycles, I've vaguely worked out a pattern. Value seems linked to the item's original world price, technological content, and rarity. Rolex tier luxury yields green chests. DSLR and Bluetooth technology consistently yields chests or practical supplies. My goal is clear. Target items that look impressive without anyone needing to understand them. I scroll the private messages and lock onto 5. Boss, I dug up a drone smashed to pieces. 3 propellers broken. Want it. Brother 9527. I have a tablet with a spiderweb screen that still faintly lights up. For food. Boss, I have a really awesome graphics card called RTX 9090 Ti. No idea what it is, but it's bent from a rock strike. Brother 9527. I dug up a leather women's handbag. Don't recognize the brand, but the zipper pull is a shiny letter G. Just want water. Boss, I have a silver pendant that opens but is empty inside. Chain broken. For a biscuit. You are the ones. A glint crosses my eyes and I message each of them, quick and decisive. I'm rich now, half a bread or half a bottle of water for a piece of trash. All 5 trades complete in minutes, and my backpack now holds 5 brand new junk items. My generosity stirs the channel again. Most people marvel at my wealth and open hand, praising the boss saying, follow the boss and you'll eat. But in a big forest there are all kinds of birds, and one dissonant voice pops up amid the harmonious praise. B2, 5408 tells everyone to calm down, not to be fooled. He argues that in this environment where physical labor is required and treasure chests don't guarantee food, food and water are more precious than gold. So why would I use such precious food to trade for worthless junk? There must be a conspiracy, he insists. These so-called electronic waste and luxury scraps must have hidden uses we don't know about, and I'm exploiting information asymmetry to cheaply acquire the treasures in their hands. He calls on everyone not to trade with me, to keep their items, to wait for the shocking secret that might emerge later, not to foolishly give away their opportunities. The channel falls silent for a moment. His words are, I'll admit, somewhat inflammatory. At a moment of life and death, any suspicious point gets magnified infinitely, and some players who had been preparing to contact me visibly hesitate. What if these broken things really are treasures? Trading them for a loaf of bread would be a huge loss. And for a moment, the wind in the channel shifts subtly. I read the message, brow furrowing. I'm not afraid of no one trading with me, but I dislike self-righteous talkers. Keep them for yourself. Can a kept item be eaten? I'm about to type a rebuttal when a familiar figure jumps out faster than I can. B2, 3838, my #1 fan, the one who sold me the camera and the Bluetooth headset. He tags B2, 5408, and asks if he's out of his mind, announces that he's the one who actually traded with the boss, a broken camera for food, a broken earpiece for water, and says he only has the energy to curse an idiot like B2. 5408, because of the boss. Hidden uses, shocking secrets. Bah. Go ahead and hug your scrap metal, he snaps. Let's see whether you starve to death faster or discover a secret faster. Don't talk big and hinder us from finding a way to live. His words roll out like machine gun fire and wake up a lot of listeners. Exactly. Another player chimes in. I just traded bread with the boss, and that's something tangible that fills my stomach. I don't care what a broken drone is for. Can I eat it? Another adds that he worked all day and was nearly dying of thirst. A bottle of water can save his life, and a broken chain is not going to be a divine artifact, so get lost. Someone else says B2 5408 clearly didn't dig up anything good and is jealous other people can get food. Typical sour grapes. Public opinion reverses. Players who just completed trades and are already eating bread and drinking water become my most steadfast supporters. Against survival, any vague possibility is no match for a real mouthful that can be swallowed. B2 5408 gets scolded into silence by the crowd and doesn't dare pop up again, the little disturbance quelled by the power of the masses. I look at the chat log and smile. I did nothing and gained a group of the most loyal business partners. I close the noisy channel and refocus on my backpack. 5 brand new treasures wait there quietly for the king of trash to favor them. Let's get to work. I inventory the 5 junk items I just acquired and decide to start with the lowest value one first. The damaged silver locket has limited tech content and only minor precious metal weight, perfect for a trial run. Recycle, I command. Spinner confirms detection of the damaged silver locket and presents the 2 options. A. Silver ore ×2 and fine hemp rope ×2. B. White treasure chest ×3. I'll stick to gambling on chests, I decide, and pit B without hesitation. Silver ore and rope might be useful later, but nothing beats the pull of unknown boxes. 3 white chests acquired. I move to the second item. The worn women's handbag stamped with the letter G. Recycle. Spinner identifies it as a worn branded handbag and lays out the options. A. Softened beast hide ×3 and an exquisite thread ball ×1. B. White treasure chest ×2. Softened beast hide. 3 pieces at once. That's exactly the material I'm short for the comfortable single bed. Rationality and the gambling itch wrestle for a second. I'll play it safe this time, I decide. The temptation of the bed wins. I'm not a pure gambler. I'm a survivor who weighs the pros and cons. 3 hides and a thread ball slot into my backpack. 1 giant step closer to sleeping on a real bed. Third up is the damaged tablet computer with the shattered screen. Recycle. Option A is a basic food pack containing bread ×5 and purified water ×5. Option B is white treasure chest ×2. I just blew through some food on trades, so I take the food pack. Fourth is the broken drone. Massive, strangely shaped with an LCD screen and a camera. A design that clearly isn't Blue Star's current tech level, so its value should be higher than the tablet. Recycle. Spinner detects a damaged high-tech civilian drone. Option A is micromotor ×1 plus a white chest. The moment I see the word green, there's nothing to think about. Option A's advanced sounding bits have no immediate use. B it is. A green chest plops down in front of me. Only 1 item left. And it's the one that on paper has the highest tech content of the whole haul. The bent damaged RTX 9090 Ti graphics card. I take a deep breath and issue the final command with something close to reverence. Recycle. Spinner detects a high-value core technology item, damaged flagship graphics card. The assessment runs, value excellent, precious metal content medium, technological content extremely high, integrity poor, and declares the recycle successful. The system voice sounds several degrees more solemn this time. Spinner somersaults and flicks its hand, and 2 dazzling trays float out in front of me. The left tray holds 3 green chests lined up, radiating vitality. The right tray holds only 1, but that one is deep, pure blue, its surface rippling like flowing water, faint silver runes flickering along the edges, and its light is strong enough to suppress the glow of the 3 green chests beside it. A blue chest. My pupils contract. If a green chest gave me a bed that buffs all attributes, what on earth sleeps inside a blue one? I choose B. Selection confirmed, the tray resolves, and a chest radiating dreamy blue light descends in front of me and hangs there in midair, the surrounding air bending into a tiny vortex around it. I look at the spread, 3 whites, 1 green, and the blue chest at the center, and grin silently. This lineup is magnificent. I exhale and force down the excitement. Opening chests is an art, and more than that, a matter of metaphysics. The more critical the moment, the calmer I have to be. I focus on the first white chest and wave my hand, muttering open. A plain white flash, stone material ×2, and purified water ×1. Not bad, I tell myself with a nod. Food and water are hard currency and you can never have too much. Second white. Rye bread ×1, stone material ×1. My brow furrows faintly, a little too flat, but no matter. These are groundwork, all of it priming for that final blue flash. Third white, deep breath, point and tap. Give me something different, I demand. The light fades and the contents resolve. Tattered wooden chair ×1, yellowed cotton quilt ×1. I stare at a chair missing a leg and a mold-smelling quilt with worn edges, dumbfounded. That's it. 3 whites, progressively worse, and I've walked away with bread, water, stone, and 2 pieces of broken furniture. I issue the command reluctantly. Recycle the tattered quilt. Spinner floats out lazily, circles the quilt once in an almost perfunctory orbit, then delivers 2 warnings. Today's recycle attempts have been used up, and this system only recycles high-value technological creations and special items, so please do not insult its professionalism with such low-end domestic waste. My face darkens. Insult. This is cotton, a crucial bedding material, and it's trash now? I'm almost overheating with anger, but the system has too many rules to argue with. Am I really supposed to sleep clutching this tattered quilt? Wait. Just because Spinner can't recycle it doesn't mean I can't. Before Spinner awakened, I had also awakened my original C-rank recycle talent, the humble one that converts simple items into basic materials, and I'd forgotten about it entirely because it's so inefficient. I asked Spinner nervously whether my original talent still works, and the red phantom yawns and replies in a mechanical voice full of disdain that my own talent doesn't conflict with the one attached by the system and can be called on at any time. It works. I focus on the quilt and silently command activate, recycle. A faint, almost invisible white light emerges from my palm and envelops the quilt. The fabric disintegrates visibly, the threads pulling apart into fiber, the cotton fluffing back out. C-rank talent recycle successful. Obtained cotton times 10, rags times 3. 10 units of snow white cotton sits in my backpack. How is this a C-rank talent? This is practically a hidden divine skill, alchemy that turns waste to treasure. I turn my fervent gaze to the broken chair and fire again. Recycle. White light success. Wood times 10. Rusty nails times 5. 2 for 2 with no failure, which the description said was chance-based. I calculate quickly. The comfortable single bed requires wood times 30, softened beast hide times 5, cotton times 10. I had 20 wood. 10 more from the chair brings it to exactly 30. 10 cotton complete. 3 hides on hand. I need only 2 more. Fantastic. The earlier gloom vanishes. 2 more hides and I can say goodbye to the cold, hard ground and sleep on the attribute-boosting bed every night. I'll hit the trading platform for the hides later. A metaphysical disaster, forcibly salvaged by my own recycle. My mindset is back at its peak and I turn my burning gaze to the green chest sitting quietly on the ground. The warm-up is over. Now the main course. I reach for the vibrant green chest. Obtained by recycling the drone and with its high-tech origin, the contents should be excellent. Open. An emerald blaze far more intense than the white light, brimming with vitality, bursts forth and floods the mine tunnel into a world of jade. I hold my breath. As the light recedes, several items appear, each glowing differently, but no blueprints. No materials. A sleek wooden longbow and a neatly bundled quiver of arrows. A weapon, ranged no less, and the bow's limbs bear sharp blades radiating a cold glint. Jackpot. My only current weapon is the rusty dagger at attack 1-3, which against unknown monsters is basically a toothpick. Now I have a bow, and in a pinch its blades double for close work. I pull the longbow and arrows out. The bow is slightly heavy. Its body is some tough wood polished smooth and wrapped with the sinews of unknown animals. The kind of feel that says serious weapon. The blades at both ends emit a chilling light that's almost soul-catching. I check the attributes. Fine-bladed longbow. Quality green fine. Attack power 1-5. 2-5. Effective range 50 meters. Special effect accuracy +1 with hit rate. Plus 10%. Described as a well-crafted hunting bow that's a reliable companion for keeping distance in the mine tunnel. With close quarters blade use built in. A friend if I treat it with care. 15 to 25 attack crushes my dagger. 1 arrow could probably punch straight through a wild dog. The arrows themselves are straight shafted with gleaming metal heads and neat fletching. Professional kit. 50 of them. Plenty for a good while. Amidst the excitement, I mimic a movie sharpshooter. Bow in left hand, arrow knocked in right, striking what I think is a cool pose. Aiming at the far wall. I want to feel the power of this divine bow. I inhale and begin drawing. Then my face flushes. The string and limbs feel like steel rebar. With everything I've got, I can pull it only a little past halfway. My arms tremble, beads of sweat pop on my forehead, and my supposedly cool pose turns comical. Movie protagonists effortlessly hauling mighty bows. All lies. I let the string slip, panting. My strength panel, even with the gloves bonus, still caps at 9. Decent for a normal person, but not enough for a fine longbow. I try a different grip, holding the bow as a polearm and using the limb's blades as cutting edges. And the system confirms the attack value doesn't drop. Good to know. To use this bow properly, I need to improve my physique, which only hardens my resolve to build the bed immediately for the all-attribute buff. If strength hits 10, I may finally draw this thing. And I still need 2 more softened beast hide. I stow the bow and arrows and turn to the blue chest floating silently in midair. The whites and the green are opened. All the luck should be concentrated on you now. Come on, let me see what kind of miracle a blue chest can bring. The moment of the final draw has arrived. I stare at the blue chest glowing dreamily. Got it off that flagship graphics card. It's the highest grade chest I've seen. I need to calm down and maintain a sense of ritual. I take a deep breath, pull out half a bottle of precious purified water, and, imitating the ancients fasting and bathing, meticulously wash my hands. Then I take out the survival manual and bow 3 times to the goddess of luck depicted inside. Only after all that does my state feel piqued. All the groundwork, all the waiting, was for this moment. A devout, slightly unhinged grin crosses my face, and I slam my palm down onto the blue chest with everything I have. Open for me. A boom. A blue tide of light surges out of the chest, and the entire tunnel is dyed deep azure, the air filled with mysterious energy particles, the rock patterns on the walls transforming into flowing ruins under the glow. I'm nearly blinded, feeling only some ineffable supreme aura emanating from the chest. When the light finally fades, I lean in eagerly and look inside. The chest is empty. No piles of supplies, no exaggerated weapons, no blueprints humming with wisdom, only one card. A card made entirely of blue crystal, with intricate silver patterns inlaid along its edges, and a blurry human figure engraved in its center, suspended quietly in the middle of the chest. A card. A card? I'm stunned, mind full of question marks. All that fuss and you give me a card. I take it out, cool to the touch, yet with a slightly warm, smooth texture. Special talent summon card, quality unknown. Described as, knowledge is power and talent is the vessel of knowledge. Young man, draw a card, see which hero destiny binds you to. Talent summon card. There's such a thing? I flip the Mind World Basic Survival Manual open again and scan rapidly. On the last page, in a hastily scrawled appendix titled The Legend of the European Emperor, I find the entry. The special talent summon card, one of the rarest treasures in the Mind World. The holder can summon powerful beings from different times and dimensions to assist them. Below are examples, in deliberately exaggerated font. The God of War Guan Yu. One man and one blade flattening countless demonic beasts. The strategist Zhuge Liang, planning inside the tent and winning battles 1,000 li away. And one lucky individual who summoned a scientific genius named Tony Stark, who hand-forged an Iron Man suit inside a mine tunnel and rampaged without restraint. Summoned talents can be continuously upgraded for better performance. Guan Yu, Zhuge Liang, Iron Man. Holy cow. This isn't just a cheat device. This is hiring a power leveler. Images flash through me. An unrivaled fierce general flattening wild dogs and slimes. Treasure chests plundered wholesale. A super scientist skipping past smelting furnaces and water purifiers and building energy weapons and Gundams. Founding a technological empire down here. My heart is on fire. I grip the card tightly as if holding a ticket to the pinnacle of the world. Why can't I escape card drawing no matter where I go? I mutter, though my face betrays me. I raise the card and bow 3 times. System God, 3 pure ones. God Jesus. All gods and Buddhas of the sky bless me. Please don't let it be someone useless. Give me someone who can fight. Zhao Yun, Lu Bu, Dian Wei is fine too. At worst an Einstein or Newton will do. I mumble prayers for a long while, finally make up my mind. Wealth and honor are in heaven's hands. Success or failure depends on this one move. Raise the card high, and roar in my heart. Use. The card in my hand explodes into a blue pillar of light that shoots skyward, piercing through the top of the tunnel. Within the pillar, data streams and runes spin wildly, and a blurry human figure slowly condenses at the center. My palms sweat. Here comes my divine general, my scientist. The light gradually fades. A figure steps into view. A man who looks to be in his 50s, slightly overweight, with a kind smile, wearing a white chef's uniform that's somewhat old but spotlessly clean, and a tall chef's hat. In his hands, no green dragon crescent blade, no futuristic laser gun, only a stainless steel ladle, polished to a brilliant shine. He looks at my stunned face, reveals a very professional, very enthusiastic smile, bows slightly, and introduces himself. Hello, boss. I am Daehei, a cook. Excuse me, where's the kitchen? What would I like to eat tonight? And he personally recommends his specialty, braised pork, fatty but not greasy, melts in the mouth. My mouth slowly falls open. The fanaticism on my face freezes. A cook. A cook? I used an ultra-high-tech flagship graphics card, recycled a blue chest, opened a 1 in a million talent summon card, and it summoned me a cook? Countless mythical beasts stampede through my head, crushing my grand ambitions. What can a cook do in a mine tunnel where resources are scarce and dangers lurk everywhere? Bash a goblin's skull with a ladle, turn monsters into a Manchu Han imperial feast. Daehei notices my petrified expression, a hint of confusion joining the kind smile, and asks cautiously whether I'm all right, whether there's a kitchen or just ingredients, and suggests a soothing brain-nourishing clear soup first, since my complexion doesn't look too good. Soothing, brain-nourishing. What I need right now is a fast-acting heart-saver pill. My blood pressure is climbing, and a mouthful of old blood is stuck in my throat. Wait, this is a super rare summoning card. No matter how much the system wants to screw me, it wouldn't use an item of this tier to produce a complete waste. This cook must have hidden attributes I don't know about. A spark of hope reignites, and I silently command check attributes. A pale blue panel visible only to me unfolds beside Daehei. Name Daehei, race human, occupation god of cookery, level 1 upgradable through special dishes. Loyalty 80 as a natural follower. Attributes: health 440, strength 20, agility 18, constitution 22, spirit 15, attack power 40, 50, defense 25. I'm stunned. What kind of monstrous attributes? My strength with gloves is 9. This cook has base strength of 20, more than double mine, which means he can easily draw the fine longbow I can't budge. 22 constitution makes him a human meat shield. These aren't stats for a cook. This is a berserker wearing a chef's uniform. I force the excitement down and shift to the skills list. Skill 1, God tier culinary arts. Passive, max level. He is the embodiment of the culinary path. Any ingredient in his hands transforms into miraculous deliciousness. Dishes come with buffs with an extremely low chance of producing legendary dishes with miraculous effects. Skill 2. 1 meal per day, active. No ingredients required. He can conjure 1 serving of a nutritious, balanced, delicious god of cookery set meal daily. Enough for 1 person, rapidly restoring stamina and clearing most minor negative statuses like fatigue and depression. Skill 3. Food soul berserk, active. Using special recipes and ingredients, he can create a battle dish imbued with the soul of Berserk, greatly boosting the consumer's attributes for a short time at the cost of falling into uncontrollable frenzy. Currently craftable is stir-fried pork kidney, strength +5, pain reduction 50%, lasting 5 minutes, side effect minor kidney deficiency. Skill 4, kitchenware as equipment, passive. In his hands, any kitchenware is treated as fine green quality equipment. The ladle is equivalent to a fine mace. Attack 2-0, 3-0 with stun effect. The chef uniform set is equivalent to a fine leather armor set. Defense 25. Upgrades with level. Skill 5. Dark cuisine. Active. He can combine malice with his art to create dark cuisine with terrifying effects. Currently craftable are deadly mixed salad with poison, tearful onion rings as potent tear gas, and brick bread as a throwing blunt weapon. I read through word by word and by the end I'm rooted to the spot, mouth agape, unable to utter a sound. My brain is overwhelmed with a steady stream of holy craps. Is this a cook? This is a strategic-level humanoid weapon combining healing, buffs, debuffs, crowd control, and area of effect damage. God-tier culinary arts in 1 meal per day perfectly solve the team's logistics and sustainability problems. Food Soul Berserk is a trump card for desperate moments. Kitchenware as equipment is even more outrageous. A man who flips walks is a warrior whose ladle rivals a longbow for attack power, and Dark Cuisine makes him practically a bioweapon master. What's Diane Wei, what's Iron Man? All weaklings next to Master Dehei. This is the true divine general, the ultimate answer to survival in the mine tunnel. I look at Dehei, still waiting kindly for my command, and my gaze shifts entirely. The look one gives an unparalleled treasure. All disappointment and anger vanished. Master Dehei, I call out, voice trembling, rushing over to grip the hand holding the ladle. A kitchen, we'll build one immediately. Tell me what materials you need. What are we eating tonight? Braised pork, a big serving. Dehei's kind smile in my eyes is no less than an angel's radiance. Don't worry, I promise. Patting my chest. A kitchen, there must be one. I'll build the best one right away. Though I don't yet have a decent house, so I'm boasting first and worrying later. Dehei appreciates the enthusiasm and chuckles that it doesn't need to be anything fancy. Just a stove will do, because where there is fire, miracles can be made. A stove, no problem. I spring into action without another word, opening the backpack and piling the accumulated stone material on the ground into a small hill of dozens of pieces. Dehei walks around it twice with his hands behind his back like a foreman, gestures at the ground with his professional ladle, and directs me to build it a bit higher here, leave a vent, flat on top for pots. I go to work hauling stones, stacking walls, leaving an opening for the fire, and although I have zero construction experience, I have enough strength and the stones are reasonably regular. After 10+ minutes of clanging, a crooked but sturdy stone stove stands in the corner of the mine tunnel. Dehei pats it, nods in satisfaction, tells me I've worked hard and to leave the rest to him. Then the miracle scene unfolds. Dehei reaches into the apron pocket of his chef's uniform and rummages around. The pocket looks ordinary, but what he pulls out nearly pops my eyes. A piece of prime pork belly, about 2 caddies, good balance of lean and fat, marbling clear, materializes in his hand out of thin air. Where on earth did he conjure that from? Is his apron Doraemon's 4th-dimensional pocket? And that isn't all. He slaps the pork belly onto the stove and reaches in again. A large iron pot, a packet of salt, a bottle of soy sauce, a small bag of rock sugar, star anise, bay leaves, a small bundle of dried chilies, various seasonings pulled out one by one and lined up neatly beside the stove. I'm utterly dumbfounded. I finally understand the value of 1 meal per day. This isn't cooking, this is creating something from nothing. Dehei is oblivious to my country bumpkin stare. He takes out his gleaming ladle, clang clang clang, cuts the pork belly into uniform pieces, takes the flint I have, lights the wood in the stove, flames rise and illuminate his confident face. The pieces go in, the sizzle and rich meaty aroma instantly fills the entire tunnel. Soy sauce, rock sugar, spices go in sequence, and the aroma becomes even more potent, even more captivating. My stomach growls uncooperatively. After the burger at noon and an hour of mining, I'm already hungry. My mouth bland, and the heavenly aroma of braised pork drags saliva out of me. It smells soul-snatching. While Dehei focuses on the stew, I force myself to look away. I still have an important job. I open the trading platform. Goal clear. Softened beast hide. 2 more for the super bed. Plenty of listings. Prices high. Mostly water or several portions of bread. I think for a moment and shout in the area channel. Food for softened beast hide. 1 portion per hide. First come first served. A private message immediately lands. B2 4567 says, brother, I'll trade. Just killed a rabbit monster that dropped a hide and I was wondering what to do with it. Deal, I reply. The trade goes through, plus 1 softened beast hide, minus 1 rye bread. Another DM lands immediately from B2 6899, who offers a fox hide. Deal, 2 softened beast hide acquired. I take the opportunity to ask whether the monsters they fought were strong. B2 4567 says, not really. Just a big rabbit hit it a few times with the pickaxe and it died. B2 6899 says the fox was fast but fragile, lured it to a corner and finished it in a few hits. I get it. Day 1 monsters aren't terribly strong, mostly beast type, giving players a grace period to adapt. I glance at the area channel's counter in the upper right. 9,999 out of 9,999. No one has died. I relax a bit but don't dare drop my guard. Everything is ready. I close chat and focus on crafting. I open the comfortable single bed blueprint and watch every material count turn green. Wood 30/30, softened beast hide 5/5, cotton 10/10. Now's the time. I press craft. A soft gold light rises in front of me. All the materials vanish, and within the glow a comfortable single bed slowly coalesces. The frame sturdy wood, the base a thick snow-white cotton mattress, topped by a smooth softened beast hide sheet. Done. I check the attributes. Comfortable single bed, quality green, effect 1 after sufficient sleep, all attributes, plus 1. Effect 2 greatly accelerates stamina and spirit recovery. Described as a bed that lets you forget worries and sweetens even your dreams. Most of the day's fatigue dissipates at the sight. I want to lie down right now and sleep the world upside down. Then my eye catches Daihei busy at the stove. A question pops up. I'm sleeping on the bed, but where does Master Daihei sleep? I can't put a dignified god of cookery on cold hard ground. He notices my glance, turns, still wearing the kind smile, and tells me not to worry, that special existences like him don't need sleep, though if I don't mind he can rest too. He pauses, points the ladle at the cave wall, and smiles somewhat mysteriously, saying tonight he has to stand guard for me. Stand guard, I echo, confused. Aside from mining, shouldn't nothing actively come in here? What's there to guard? He just smiles, wipes the ladle, and says slowly, I'll know in a little while. His words stir a slight unease in my chest. More than an hour passes, and my attention is captivated by the gurgling braised pork in the pot. Soy red sauce thick as honey, every piece of pork belly simmered translucent and jiggly, looking ready to melt at a touch. The aroma permeates every pore, as if lifting my soul. Daihei scoops a piece with his big ladle and holds it out, telling me to try. I ignore the heat and bite in. Skin soft and sticky, fat melting instantly, lean tender and savory, salty yet sweet, the flavor exploding in my mouth. Delicious, impossibly delicious. Tears nearly flowing at the corners of my mouth. I'd never eaten such braised pork in my life. I wolf a piece, pull out the rye bread from my backpack, tear it open and dip it into the thick sauce in the pot. Tear it open and dip it into the thick sauce in the pot. The hard, coarse bread soaks the meat juice, instantly soft, delicious, infinitely flavorful. I devour an entire loaf with sauce like a whirlwind, the day's fatigue and digging soreness vanishing without a trace. Daihei takes a piece of bread and slowly eats too. Apparently he enjoys the food his own skill creates. In this moment, the tunnel is no longer cold and dark. It's filled with warmth and the aroma of food, like a real home. As I enjoy this rare apocalyptic warmth, a system notification sounds without warning in every player's head. Global announcement. Survivors, the daytime adaptation period has ended. Night is about to fall. Although we're underground and can't perceive the passage of time, the system has thoughtfully adjusted our cave so that when night falls, the brightness of the luminous crystals on the ceiling will be reduced to 20%. It wishes everyone a pleasant time playing with their, quote, friendly neighbors, unquote, during the tranquil night. The last sentence with a strange tone and scare quotes sends a chill down my spine. I look up and see the ceiling crystals dimming visibly at a steady rate. The tunnel grows murky, visibility sharply drops, the corners go pitch black, and a sense of unknown oppression fills the air. The regional channel explodes. Someone asks why it suddenly got so dark. Someone asks what friendly neighbor means and says they feel creeped out. Someone curses the broken system for having ill intentions. We mine during the day and now they want trouble at night. Another begs everyone not to panic. Maybe it's just dusk. Don't scare yourselves. Then an analyst jumps in saying the system specifically used scare quotes around friendly neighbors, and that's no good sign that something will actively come looking for us tonight. Maybe monsters, or maybe something else. His words are a bucket of cold water over everyone's heads. Panic spreads through the channel like plague. Monsters will dig their way over, then we're doomed. I don't even have a weapon. Help, who has a weapon? I'll trade food for it. I don't want to die. It's over. My pickaxe broke today and I didn't dig up anything. Am I going to starve and be eaten by monsters? The channel fills with wailing. Reading it, my heart sinks too. I finally understand what Daihei meant by standing watch. In this world, there is no absolute safe zone, and night is the true beginning of the test. But amid the panic, I sense an opportunity. What does everyone lack most right now? A sense of security, a weapon they can hold. I glance at my rusty dagger, attack 1-3. Since I can't draw the longbow, the dagger as a club beats this thing. Trash to me, but a lifeline to those unarmed. I open the trading platform and list the rusty dagger, but I don't want food or materials. I list the request as bed, reclining chair, sofa, or similar items, because Daihei needs somewhere to rest and I can't really let Master Daihei stand all night. The trade request looks strange, even outrageous, but the next second it succeeds. I receive a comfortable reclining chair ×1. Trading a useless broken weapon for furniture isn't much of a loss, since resting well means I keep digging. I pull the chair out, a bit old but usable, place it by the stove, and tell Daihei he's worked hard and to please rest here tonight. Daihei looks at the chair, a warmth flickering in his eyes, and nods thank you, boss. Follower Daihei's favorability increases. Loyalty +5, an unexpected gain. After all that, I finally feel a little more at ease. I sit on the big bed while Daihei leans back in the reclining chair, neither of us speaking, quietly waiting for the unknown. The tunnel grows darker and darker, only the flickering hearth flames providing the last of light and heat. Time creeps. My eyelids start drooping and I'm about to give in to sleep when, shh, Shasha. An extremely faint sound like fingernails scraping rock suddenly comes from behind the left wall. The rustling scrapes at my heart like a dull knife, not loud but clear enough in the dead silence to make my scalp tingle. It's here. The friendly neighbor the system quoted in scare marks is finally coming to visit. I instinctively spring from the bed, grab the miner's gloves and pull them on, and grip the fine longbow that packs attack 25 in my other hand. I can't draw it yet, but holding it brings a false sense of security. Don't panic, boss, a steady voice says beside me. Daihei has risen from his chair at some point, still composed, as if the noise outside is just the kettle boiling in the kitchen. He holds the gleaming ladle in one hand and even smooths his tall chef's hat with the other. Posture impossibly relaxed. Rustle, crack. The sounds grow louder, mixing with faint popping of crumbling rock. I stare at the wall and see fine cracks spreading across the surface, dust and small stones trickling down. Something is trying to force its way out. Master Daihei, I start. Voice dry. Small potatoes, he replies calmly, taking 2 steps forward to shield me behind him, adopting a standard walk-flipping stance. Boom! The wall explodes. Outward. Broken stones spraying, smoke filling the air, and a massive creature crawls sideways through the shattered opening. Dark red all over, covered in hard carapace reflecting a cold metallic sheen under the hearthlight. 8 thick jointed legs supporting a body over a meter across. And most terrifying, 2 giant pincer-like claws raised high in front like hydraulic shears. A crab. A giant crab bigger than a damn round table. Info floats into view. Rockshell pincer crab weakened version. Green elite. Beast, HP 300. Attack 20. Defense 15. A mutated creature dwelling deep in the mine tunnel, with a carapace hard as rock, and giant pincers that can easily snap steel. It hisses like escaping steam, its bean-sized eyes in the dust locking onto us, and scuttles forward on its 8 legs in an aggressive charge. Its speed isn't fast, but the oppressive force of it would turn an ordinary person's legs to jelly. I instinctively step back 2 paces, nearly tripping. Is this what the system called a friendly neighbor? This is clearly a forced demolition. The massive pincer is about to clamp down. At this critical moment, a white figure flashes past. Daihei moves. He doesn't retreat. He steps in toward the crab, body sinking slightly, ladle cutting a swift whistling arc as it smashes down on the foremost leg, the one charging fastest. Clang, -60. A loud ringing like a hammer on an iron plate echoes through the tunnel. Sparks fly, and the leg, thicker than my arm, takes a visible dent. The crab cries out in a sharp hiss, and its charge stalls. Effective. My heart swells. Master Daihei's ladle is indeed a divine weapon. The crab abandons me, turns to the 2-legged beast that dared provoke it, and snaps its giant pincers down at Daihei's head. If that connects, his head turns to rotten watermelon. But Daihei's face stays utterly calm, even finds time to remark that my luck really isn't good and this monster is quite troublesome in the early stages. He flicks his wrist, converts the ladle from smash to parry, and intercepts precisely at the pincer joint. Clang, another ear-piercing clash. He doesn't move. The crab is shaken back half a step. Good opportunity, he cries low. Shifts his feet, closes the crab's side instantly, and the ladle comes alive, transforming into streaks of silver afterimages, unleashing a tempest on the crab's vulnerable leg joints. Clang, 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 clang. -48, -46. The clanging is incessant, like a blacksmith forging iron, and the health bar drops and drops. I stand dumbfounded. This isn't a kind cook. This is a battle-hardened weapon master. Every strike precise, efficient, lethal. Each movement evading counterattack perfectly. The ladle he's been flipping in his hand is the most terrifying weapon I've seen. Crack. After several heavy blows, one of the crab's legs can no longer support and snaps off at the joint. Its massive body tilts, balance shattered. Now, Daihei eyes flashing with a sharp glint, seizes the opening, leaps high, grips the handle with both hands, pouring all his strength into it, and, like Mount Tai pressing down, smashes onto the center of the back shell. Thud. -87. The indestructible carapace spiderwebs with cracks under the impact. Green liquid gushes out. The crab twitches. The raised pincers droop limply. The 8 legs, now 7, go soft, and it collapses motionless. Battle over. Daihei lands lightly, retracts the ladle, spins it stylishly in the air, glances at the green liquid staining it, frowns slightly, and pulls a clean rag from his pocket to wipe meticulously, muttering that it's dirty and he'll have to scald it with boiling water when he gets back. I stare blankly at the scene, then at the longbow in my hand. I didn't even get to draw, open my mouth, and for a long time can't utter a word. I silently put the bow back in the backpack. With Master Daihei around, this thing seems to have no use. The crab corpse vanishes, leaving a severed leg and 2 soft glows, a phantom of a huge crab shell and a green glowing treasure chest. I rush over in 3 steps, not caring about the sticky green liquid on the ground. Master Daihei, you're too fierce. Not just fierce, this is a dimensionality reduction attack. I'd been worrying about these friendly neighbors, and he solved the seemingly ferocious big guy in under 10 seconds with 1 move. Just routine, he says, wiping the ladle clean and returning to his kind cook persona, as if the berserker who just swung that ladle with such imposing might was merely my illusion. He tells me to take the spoils. He's only interested in ingredients. Unfortunately, this thing doesn't look very appetizing. And pokes the crab shell phantom with his ladle, shaking his head with a chef's disdain for inferior material. I chuckle and stop being polite, reaching for the phantom first. Notification. Obtain giant crab shell ×1. A carapace over 1 meter across, shimmering dark red, lands in my backpack, heavy and substantial. Next, the green chest, glowing alluringly, dropped by an elite. Items won't be bad. Deep breath. Press. Open. Click. Green flash. Inside, a single blueprint glowing faintly. Notification. Obtained crab armor upper body blueprint ×1. A blueprint. I pull details. Crab armor upper body quality green. Type equipment armor, effect defense +25, strength +2, negative effect agility -1. Crafting requirements giant crab shell ×1, rag ×3, iron ingot ×1. Can be crafted manually, no workbench required. Described as armor made from the hardest back shell of a giant crab. Clumsy but providing unparalleled security. Wear it and you might even dare provoke an enraged wild boar. Defense +25, strength +2. My current worn t-shirt from the white chest has virtually no defense. 25 defense in 1 item. Daihei's chef uniform set, equivalent to fine leather armor, only totals 25. This one piece is equal to 2 of his. Agility -1 is negligible. At this stage, survival is paramount, and if I'm tough enough, I can afford to run a little slower. Even better, all crafting materials are perfectly complete. Heaven helps me. I open the crafting interface without hesitation. Find the crab armor blueprint. Every number green, click craft. A green flash brighter than the bed craft. The giant crab shell, rags, and 1 iron ingot in my backpack vanish into light particles spinning and reforming, and a piece of armor full of primitive rugged beauty slowly condenses into shape. Dark red half-body armor retaining the natural curve and solid texture of the shell. Edges polished smooth. Strong rag strips woven into connecting straps. A small heart guard reinforced at the chest with the iron ingot. Crude but thick and indestructible feeling. The light disperses and the armor clunks to the ground. I pick it up eagerly and attributes appear. Crab armor upper body, quality green, defense 25, strength +2, agility -1, equipment requirement none. Described as hard, thick, safe. You are now the toughest guy in the mine tunnel. Equip. The armor instantly dawns itself on me, heavy and solid from chest to back. Movement slightly restricted, but the security enveloped by sturdy armor is unprecedented. I throw a few punches, feeling noticeably stronger. The panel refreshes. Jinmo, strength 8 base +1 gloves +2 armor equals 11. Agility 9 base -1 armor equals 8. Constitution 8. Spirit 9 defense 25. Strength breaks the 10-point mark. Defense goes from almost 0 directly to 25. I'm tough. Tougher than I've ever been. Daihei asks with a smile how I feel. I pat the hard chest plate, making a dull thump-thump. Tell him I feel like even if another big crab came, I could go toe-to-toe with it. Of course that's an illusion, but my confidence is inflated like never before. Sturdy shelter, comfortable bed, powerful companion, sturdy armor. Step by step, I'm building a safe fortress in this perilous mine world. In a great mood, I reopen the regional channel I haven't dared look at since nightfall. Curious what other friendly neighbors look like. Countless voice and text messages flood the screen like a burst dam. The channel is a sea of whales. 4,515 begs help, cornered by a wolf. Pickaxe broken. 534 sobs it's a green venomous snake. HP dropping. Antidote for all his food, please. 7,657 curses he's met a green elite unicycle robot with a chainsaw. His leg has been sawed off. 6,553 reports white-quality goblins in plural throwing stones at his wall. A small hole already forming. Wall collapsing. 9,697 tries to maintain order. Calm down, use terrain, lure monsters into corners, throw anything you can. Various pleas and screams, mixed with a few attempts at calm. The scroll painting of a doomsday hell. I scroll through one by one. After nightfall, the friendly neighbors are varied. Luckier players face ordinary beasts. Wolves, boars, venomous snakes. Fierce but manageable with a weapon, composure, and terrain. Most are still using starter pickaxes or throwing stones. And many barely kill their monsters after bitter scraps, paying the price in injuries. Unluckier ones meet mechanical monsters or elite monsters, which at this stage are almost unsolvable. One person posts that after his wall cracked open, on the other side was a chunk of flesh covered in eyeballs, and just one look made him feel like he was going crazy. Panic and despair dominated. I touched the cold crab armor on my body, look back at Daihei meticulously wiping the stove with a rag, and recall a line from a certain literary master. The joys and sorrows of humanity are indeed not interconnected. In this world where everyone could die at any moment, taking care of oneself has already exhausted all their strength. The only thing I can do is keep growing stronger so I and my companions live longer and better. Amid the wails, I also see counterkill posts. 5,454 hammers a white-quality skinny bored to death with his pickaxe, dropping a simple wooden spear, now proudly a man with a weapon. 8,554 kills a green glowing slime. Green monster chest opens a basic healing potion. Huge profit. 9,999 shows off killing a green quality subterranean spider with a trap, dropping fine leather armor at defense plus 15. Who can contend? I glance down at my plus 25 crab armor, glad to have a powerful helper. My gaze catches the area population counter. Area population 9,120 of 9,999. Before nightfall, 9,999 and not one missing. In under an hour, nearly 900 people have vanished forever. How terrifying the global death toll must be. And the number still drops slowly but without stop. 9,119, 9,118, 9,115, each change a living person somewhere in an unknown dark corner, devoured or dying in despair. The mind world, which during the day seemed peaceful and almost like an online game, reveals its most ferocious side once night falls. This isn't a game, this is real, deadly survival. The smile slides off my face, replaced by solemnity. I've grown stronger and tougher, but the world is far more dangerous and insane than I imagined. I asked Daihei in a low voice whether crabs like the one tonight are common. He's wiping his ladle, movements meticulous as if it were not a cooking utensil but a timeless work of art, and replies without lifting his head that this thing's scientific name is rock-shelled pincer crab, one of the lower-level nocturnal invading creatures, with a hard carapace but fragile joints and slow movement. And as long as you find its weak point, it isn't difficult. He pauses and adds that there are many types of nocturnal invaders, most weaker than it, but naturally some are several times stronger. They're attracted by light and the scent of living people. And the more people in a tunnel, the stronger the monster's drawn, so there's no absolutely safe place at night. Only a low-level one. I look at the channel where players are being tormented to death by wolves and snakes and goblins. Think of the round-table-sized crab, and my heart fills with mixed emotions. With Master Daihei, my starting point is already far higher than most, but his words are a cold splash reminding me this is only the beginning. The oppressive wait drags on, wails thin out, and I stare at the survivor counter. The crimson number finally settles at 9,012 of 9,999. Then the cold system voice speaks in every survivor's mind. Global announcement. Congratulations on surviving the first visit from your friendly neighbors. Friendly reminder. This was only to let you experience the night in this world in advance. From tonight onwards, friendly neighbor home services will appear on random nights, and for the sake of your rest, there will normally only be one wave of neighbors. Now, night kill performance will be rated and rewards issued. Goodbye, survivors. Live well. The last line carries imperceptible mockery, and every relieved player's heart sinks. Random nights. How are people supposed to live like this? Before I can process it, another announcement appears. Area announcement. Congratulations to player B2, 9527 for overall rating first in the area during tonight's defense. Detail follows. Visible only to me. B2 area ranking 1. Global ranking 728. 932. System reward blue treasure chest times 1. Please continue to strive for excellence. Holy crap. First in the area and a blue chest. But then I see global ranking and freeze. Over 700,000. What a joke. I ignore the chaotic channel. Daihei dealt with the giant crab with fluid, effortless motion, composure, and skill perfect. And my global ranking is still over 700,000. Cold sweat breaks out. It means among the hundreds of millions of global players, at least 700,000 performed better than Daihei. How? Did they get S-grade combat talents at start, or open god-tier weapons from gold chests? Or like me, had special talent summon cards of their own? This world is more treacherous than imagined. I take a deep breath and pull the faint blue glowing chest from the void. No time for these thoughts. Improving strength is the only way out. This is the second blue chest I've gotten, and it's a direct system reward, so its value is definitely not low. I secretly glance at Daihei meditating with eyes closed and silently pray. Bring a talent, a strong one, to share some pressure with Master Daihei. I don't want to rely on a cook with a big ladle to fight monsters every night from now on. Deep breath, press lid, open, click. I peer in eagerly. 2 items. A card shimmering blue, and an emerald green spear with a cold gleam on the tip. No talent summon light show, and I'm slightly disappointed but drawn to the 2 items. Card first. Mine Tunnel Area Expansion Card rare. Quality blue. Effect permanently expands your initial shelter area by 10 square meters. Described as more space means more possibilities. Perhaps you can consider building a separate bathroom now. Good stuff. My current mine tunnel is 50. 10 more makes space much more generous. Room now for the smelting furnace, workbench, whatever I build in the future. A strategic item. Then the spear. Fine piercing spear, quality green, type weapon polearm, effect attack power 1/5. 2 and attack range +1. Described as a well-made spear allowing a chilling blow from a relatively safe distance. Attack can't compare to the unpullable longbow, but it has no usage threshold and the range +1 is extremely practical, tailor-made for a novice like me. With this and the crab armor, I have some capital for direct combat. Not the talent I most wanted, but both items are very practical. I asked Daihei curiously what the chances of getting a special talent summon card from a blue chest like this. He doesn't open his eyes and replies calmly that, according to his information, the probability is approximately 0.00001%. 0.40 is 1. I gasp. 1 in 10 million. Only now do I realize how incredibly lucky I was to summon him. I'm not just lucky, I'm practically the system's favored child. And luck is itself a form of strength, and a crucial one. I stop overthinking and use the blue expansion card first. Use. Buzz. The entire shelter hums faintly, and I feel the surrounding walls pushed outward by an invisible hand. The space visibly enlarging a circle. The feeling of personally expanding my territory is incredibly satisfying. Next, I equip the fine piercing spear. Slightly heavy, length just right. Paired with the thick crab armor, I finally look like a warrior and not a rag picker. With that, no more motion outside the tunnel. The remaining half of the night passes peacefully. When the crystal returns to 100% brightness, the system announces a new day has begun. My pickaxe is refreshed, and yesterday's excavated walls are reset. The hole the crab crashed open restores itself as if time flowed backward, and a brand new standard pickaxe materializes at my feet. A new day, a new start. I stretch, joints cracking. Daihei is already busy preparing breakfast by the stove, and I feel incredibly at ease. I open the trading platform. After a night of bloodbath, the market has completely changed. Simple wooden spear. No one wanted one yesterday. Now 10 portions of food and out of stock. Basic healing potion. Absurd price of 100 portions of food or a green blueprint. Weapons, armor, medicine, anything that improves survival. Up several times to dozens of times. Basic food and water have slightly decreased instead. The reason is obvious. The nearly 1,000 dead no longer need food, and the survivors desperately need guarantees to see them through the next night. Others' crises are my business opportunities. A faint smile crosses my lips. I don't plan to sell the spear now, but the shift in this market shows another road to wealth. Master Daihei, let's eat first, I call, picking up the new pickaxe and walking to the stove. After we eat, we'll be busy today. Daihei's breakfast comes quickly, but he doesn't use 1 meal per day. Instead, he uses the broken crab leg from last night. He skillfully extracts the meat, seasons simply with spices from who knows where, pan fries until golden on both sides, pairs with 2 slices of lightly toasted bread, a fragrant sandwich done. He hands over the plate and tells me to try the lucky crab leg meat sandwich, explaining that rock crab meat is usually tough and unsuited to cooking, but he treated it with a special method so it should bring a little good luck. I take a big bite, crispy outside, tender inside, delicious juices exploding in my mouth, and my eyes narrow in happiness. System prompt pops up. I've consumed the special dish lucky crab leg meat sandwich, and for the next 4 hours, my luck is +1. Luck +1. I finish breakfast quickly, feeling last night's fatigue gone and my body full of strength, as if the air itself became fresher. I don't rush to mine. I sit on the newly expanded open ground and open the crafting interface. Goal clear. Smelting furnace. First step toward industrialization, crucial for widening the gap. The simple forging furnace blueprint, quality green, requires stone material times 50, copper ingot times 10, iron ingot times 10. Inventory check. After yesterday's mining and chest haul, I have enough stone and copper ingots, but I'm 6 iron ingots short. A campfire can smelt iron ore, but the blueprint says crudely, meaning losses are terrifying. Better to trade for ready-made ingots on the platform than burn precious ore. I open the area channel, still filled with relief over surviving and anxiety about the future. Someone asks if anyone is selling weapons, offering 5 portions of food for even a shit dagger. Someone begs for medicine, scratched by a monster and still bleeding. Someone curses the next night not wanting to die. Weapon and medicine posts are over 90%, but very few are actually listed. Everyone has realized how important these items are and keeps them. Good sign, no one in Zone B2 is capable of mass-producing weapons yet. Once my furnace is built, I can seize the market and become the area's sole arms dealer. Time is of the essence. I post immediately. B2, 9527, high price acquisition of iron ingots. 1 ingot for 2 portions of rye bread or 2 bottles of purified water. First come, first served. The channel falls silent, then replies, B2, 7788, asks what an iron ingot is. He only has a few black rocks called iron ore. B2, 6543 calls him stupid. Iron ingots are iron ore smelted with fire. He tried it, you can refine on a campfire. 10 ore to 1 ingot, slow and prone to failure. B2, 4396 exclaims, so that's how it is. He happens to have a dozen iron ore. Wait, he's refining right now. B2, 1234 is starving and has a lot of iron ore. Refining now, please wait. Most players are in the most primitive stage of survival. They know iron ore is good stuff but don't know how to use it efficiently. Under the pressure of survival, promising future materials that can't immediately be turned into combat power are far less practical than a loaf of bread that fills the stomach. For players injured in last night's battle, the system prompt about slowly recovering health after eating and drinking enough makes food life-saving medicine. I receive several DMs. Don't waste time, stick to fair trade, and quickly complete exchanges. 6 freshly smelted iron ingots acquired. Materials gathered. I stand in the corner of the shelter, deep breath, silently chanted. Build. Simple forging furnace. Buzz. The stone, copper ingots, and iron ingots in my backpack turn into streams of light, flying out, rapidly interweaving in the open space in front of me. A crude half-person high furnace built from rough stones and metal rises from the ground at visible speed. The body is dark with a heavy mix of metal and rock, a crooked chimney extending up, simple but full of power. The moment it completes, the cold system announcement echoes in every Zone B2 survivor's mind. Area announcement. Congratulations to player B2. 9527 for successfully building the first simple forging furnace in Zone B2, officially ushering in the Iron Age for this area. To commend his pioneering contribution, special rewards are given. Iron ingot times 10, title Industrial Pioneer. The channel explodes. This game has titles. A smelting furnace. Is it for refining ingots? Iron Age. I haven't even figured out the Stone Age and Big Shot is already doing industry. The system even gives rewards. 10 iron ingots. That would take over 100 pieces of iron ore to refine. I mined all day yesterday and didn't see even a shadow of iron ore. Upstairs I tried refining 20 pieces of iron ore and they all failed. You probably need at least 300 ore and a campfire to get 10 ingots. Big Shot 9527. Do you still need a hanger-on? The kind who shouts 666. Envy, jealousy, shock. All of it. If last night's first place only made people think Big Shot 9527 was strong, today building the first smelting furnace establishes me as area leader, like a ruthless overachiever climbing the tech tree while everyone is still struggling to survive. I have no time for it. All my attention is on the furnace and the reward. 10 iron ingots replenishes and nets a profit. The title effect doubles the chance of forging high-tier items. I walk over and touch the furnace body. Warm. And a new crafting panel appears. Simple forging furnace. Special effect when forging basic white weapons, a 2% chance for a quality leap to excellent green. Note title effect activated chance increased to 4%. Described as the crudest smelting furnace with no automatic forging. To make things you might have to hammer them yourself, though the system will assist. Craftable list. Simple dagger white iron ingot times 1 wood times 1 10 minutes. Simple spear same. Simple iron sword same. Seeing that 4%, I glance at the luck plus 1 buff that hasn't expired yet. Not high, but might yield a huge surprise. Meaning I can mass-produce white weapons and potentially forge greens. For ordinary players still using pickaxes and stones, white weapons are artifacts and green weapons practically legends. A clear business blueprint takes shape in my head. In the area channel, players who just witnessed the furnace build haven't yet recovered when the discussion shifts. Someone says from the name it's used for iron smelting. Someone else just checked the manual and says a smelting furnace can make weapons. What? Make weapons? Like a depth charge, the sentence detonates in Zone B2. Big Shot, please. A weapon, all my food for it. Woo woo, look at me. Scratched by a monster and still bleeding, won't survive another night. Big Shot, do you still need a subordinate? I mined super fast. The bloody reality of last night made everyone understand. Food is important, but a protective weapon is the fundamental key to survival. Panic and fear of death turn into primal motivation. DMs and friend requests flood in. I look at the requests calmly, don't reply one by one, and post a new announcement. Everyone please calm down. Currently, the furnace produces 3 white-quality weapons. Simple dagger, simple spear, simple iron sword. I can craft them for you. You provide materials, 1 iron ingot and 1 wood per weapon. Pause. Crafting fee, 1 iron ingot, alternatively 3 units of wood, 3 portions of food, or 3 bottles of purified water. Of course, if you have blueprint fragments or mine tunnel expansion cards, you can directly exchange them for finished weapons. The channel goes silent 3 seconds. Then a harsh voice pops up. Why you don't even provide materials? You just click a button. Why so expensive? You're too black-hearted. Exactly. 1 iron ingot. I might not even dig up 1 iron ore in a whole day. How is this different from taking advantage of a disaster? Scattered doubts, quickly drowned by the purchase wave, but with some agreement. I simply find it amusing. And sure enough, that familiar ID stands out again. B2, 3838 snaps at them. If you think it's expensive, don't buy. How many people have proper weapons right now? Either barehanded or with trash daggers. Surviving last night was luck. Can you guarantee monsters won't come tonight? If they do, are you going to fight them with your head? Like a bucket of cold water. Someone echoes. Some people just can't stand to see others do well. Big Shot ignored them. If you get upset and stop trading, who do we turn to? If I get killed by a monster as a ghost, I'll go after those whiny guys first. Another, seconded, isn't Big Shot's time valuable? He built the furnace with his own ability. Why let you use it free? Another, if you don't want to trade, then get lost. Don't delay us. Public opinion instantly reverses. Dissenting voices drowned and gone. I watch with amazement. This 3838 always rushes to defend me. Looks like I need to reward him a little. I DM 3838 directly. What weapon do you want to make? The first I'll make for you free. The person on the other end is clearly stunned. Takes several seconds. Replies excited and incoherent. Big Shot, really. I want a longsword. I'll send materials right away. Soon I receive the iron ingot and wood via trade. I walk to the furnace, throw materials in. Forge. Fire blazes. I hold the forging hammer. Ding ding dang, clang echoes in the tunnel. 10 minutes later, hammering stops abruptly. Buzz. A vibrant green light shoots up from the mouth, illuminating the shelter green. I step forward, and inside the fire a longsword lies quietly, entirely emerald green, tip gleaming with piercing cold light. Excellent sharp longsword, quality green, attack 1-5. 2-5. Special effect sharpness +2 adding 5 fixed attack power. Holy crap. I myself am astonished. First batch triggers the not high chance, and even comes with top tier attribute. The luck +1 buff is too powerful. Quality is great, but range is short and less safe than a spear. I send the freshly forged green longsword to 3838 via private trade and tell him I have a 2% chance to produce green equipment. Please help spread the word. The next second, my private chat floods with 3 massive holy crap messages. Holy crap, Big Shot. Is this a green weapon? Attributes too awesome? I'm kowtowing to you. You are my second parents. I reply calmly. Just good luck. 3838, still immersed in the surprise, pours out boundless admiration, and without a word, posts the attribute illustration to the area channel with a caption, Brothers, freshly forged longsword from Big Shot 9527. Big Shot says he has 2% chance to trigger a quality leap in forging. Directly producing green equipment, I'm the lucky one. Drop of water in hot oil. Zone B2 instantly erupts. A green weapon, +5 attack. My broken small knife only has 5 attack right now. 2%. I'm willing to gamble. Big Shot, my materials. This is all my worldly possessions. Please help forge one. Don't fight me, I was first. Big Shot, I'll pay double service fee. I'll trade 1 simple trap blueprint fragment for 1 crafting opportunity. Big Shot, look at me, make mine first. Those who thought the fee was expensive now regret it bitterly. White weapons are already a godsend. Green weapons are divine artifacts that can change fate. 1 lucky trigger and you instantly become the top person in the area. Trade requests and DMs overwhelm me. The scattered doubts from earlier have long vanished. Just as I'm about to throw materials in and start working, a very practical question pops up. How do I ensure fairness in this OEM business? If the furnace truly gets blessed by luck and continuously produces several greens, whose equipment are they? Suppose 10 people are in line, all providing materials. I smelt a batch, a top green sword comes out. Does it go to the first or the 10th? Even if the type matches, if Jihoon wanted a sword and a green sword appears, would the next guys be convinced? They'd wonder why Jihoon's materials produced a top-grade item and not theirs. Human nature can't withstand testing, especially life and death. I don't want to push myself into the spotlight and be resented by a group of red-eyed players over this. As I'm frowning, a cold system notices arrives at the right moment. System notification. Player B2. 9527 is detected preparing to use a simple forging furnace to provide forging services for other players. To ensure transaction fairness, the lease function has been enabled. Lease function, you can list special buildings under your name, such as smelting furnace, workbench, etc., on the trading platform Lease Zone for other players to use for a fee. Rules. 1. Lease fee set by you. System takes no handling fees. 2. During lease, the building is operated independently by the lessee. Output goes to their backpack, unrelated to you. 3. To protect the building's core, each lease allows only one item forged. Starting from use, the building enters 30-minute cooling protection. 4. During lease, the owner can still use the building itself, but fuel consumption doubles. 5. Enable this function for 10 units of basic food or water as activation fee. Is there such a good thing? My eyes light up. Someone sending a pillow right as I was sleepy. This lease function perfectly solves all the problems. I can rent out the furnace like a shared power bank. Whoever scans the code uses it. Whether a top item appears depends on their luck. All disputes unrelated to me, and I just lie back and collect rent. Enable. Confirm without hesitation. 10 units deducted. A golden lease button appears on the furnace panel. I click and set the lease price. Option 1 iron ingot times 1. Option 2 wood times 3. Option 4 any food times 3. Fair. Confirm listing. A new section, the lease zone, on the trading platform lights up. My simple but powerful simple forging furnace icon hanging alone in first position, followed by the fee standard and usable. 30-minute cooldown. Done. I clap. The furnace has become a chicken that lays golden eggs on its own, working 24 hours a day. I share on the area channel. Everyone, my smelting furnace is listed in the lease zone. Pay to use it yourself. First come first served. Half-hour cooldown after use. The channel erupts. Lease zone. There's such a function. Holy cow, I just checked, and it's real. Big shot 9527 pulled it off. Damn it, too slow, already says in use. Which son of a bitch was so fast? Shit, just missed it. Brothers, I'm camping in the lease zone today. Nobody's getting the next CD before me. Lips curve upward. A system notice. First order lessee paid 3 rye breads. 30-minute cooldown means a maximum of 48 a day, and even that earns a large amount of supplies. Huge profit. I notice the furnace in front of me is quiet, no movement, but it's already rented. Why no reaction? The rule. During lease, owner can still use the building itself, but fuel consumption doubles. So that's it. What's leased is a phantom usage right that doesn't conflict with my own operation of the main body. Double the joy. I take the 10 iron ingot the system rewarded, gather enough wood, and begin the great forging endeavor. As for collecting iron ore to forge ingots for sale, I haven't considered it. Too tiring. The furnace has 100% success on ingot smelting, but each ingot takes 10 minutes in hammering myself. No automatic. Better to burn a few ingots into finished weapons to sell. Forge simple iron sword. Fire blazes, visibly doubling wood consumption. I start working the hammer, crisp ding-dong echoing. Meanwhile, the first lessee shows off excitedly. Brothers, I got a simple iron sword. 5 to 15 attack, 12 more than the wooden stick I had. Satisfied, thanks, big shot 9527. Envious. 20 minutes left, next is mine. Don't fight over it, I've already set my alarm. I ignore the commotion. 10 minutes later, my first sword completes. Buzz. A dazzling emerald light, brighter than the 3838 one, bursts from the mouth. Done. I rush forward, a smoothly shaped iron sword lying quietly inside the fire. Intricate patterns on the hilt, a faint green aura flowing on the blade. Fine iron sword, quality green, attack 1-5. 2-5, special attribute fury. Your attacks have a 5% chance to critically strike, doubling damage. Critical hit, tailor-made for output. I immediately forge the second, third, and on. For an hour I work almost non-stop, exhausting all ingots. Luck, as if ignited entirely by the buff, yields remarkable results. 10 ingots produce fine iron sword times 2, simple iron sword times 1, simple spear times 4, simple dagger times 3. 2 greens, one with fury, the other equally impressive. Fine iron sword, quality green, attack 1-5. 2-5 special attribute toughness, durability increased by an additional 100 points. 1 for extreme burst, 1 for lasting durability, both top grade. Looking at the brand new metallic sheen firearms in my backpack, I know the harvest season has arrived. I don't list these on the platform. I open the area channel and quietly observe. The channel is in an uproar over the furnace lease. Every lucky player shows off their whites, drawing envy and complaints from those without. The entire B2 district is stirred up by one furnace. Everyone understands that white weapons have become the standard for this area. No weapon means you might be the next eliminated tonight. The time is right. I clear my throat and post the message I've been brewing. B2. 9527. Everyone, I've just forged a batch of weapons. The quality is a little better than white. Quantity is limited. I plan to sell through auction. Highest bidder wins. I throw in the 2 fine iron sword illustrations. Holy crap. Green weapons, 2 of them. 5% crit if that triggers. 1 sword could instantly kill that wild wolf from last night. Toughness plus 100 durability. This thing can be used forever. Big shot, no auction. I'll offer 5 portions of food. Sell to me, please. Get lost. A divine weapon for 5 portions. I'll offer 10. I'll trade a mine tunnel expansion card 5 square meters. Big shot, look at me. I pay special attention to the ID offering the expansion card. Home area is also hard currency in this confined mine world. Weapons trade quickly. Lessees can't guarantee future luck. and 1 green fine iron sword is exchanged for a 5 square meter expansion card, and 7 white weapons are selectively traded for blueprint fragments enough to assemble the Thorn Trap blueprint and Wooden Shield blueprint, along with 2 1 square meter expansion cards. Thorn Trap blueprint, quality white. Construction requirements: wood times 3 iron nail times 5. Described as a simple, effective defensive facility. When placed on the ground, sharp wooden spikes pop up when a creature steps on it, causing piercing damage. May not be effective against thick-skinned monsters, but works wonders against small ones like wolves and goblin. An entry-level choice for defending one's home. Wooden Shield blueprint, quality white. Crafting requirements: wood times 3 rag times 2. Described as a basic shield reinforced with thick planks and cloth strips. Crude but can effectively block or deflect attacks. Attribute defense +5, successfully blocking an attack. Can offset some damage. Both greatly supplement my defense. Thorn Trap as warning and first line. Wooden Shield for Daihei's already robust physique. Only 1 green iron sword remains. I'm not satisfied with the trades offered. As I watch, B2 9999 sends me a DM asking whether the Fury Sword is still available. He wants it. I remember him. The ridiculously lucky one who opened a green chest on day 1 and got a green axe. It's still here, I reply curiously. But don't you already have a green weapon? Quickly comes a Versailles-esque sigh. Don't mention it, the axe is too heavy and awkward to use. It affects his performance. My eye twitches. Good heavens, is that even a human thing to say? Others fight tooth and nail for a broken wooden spear, and he's complaining a green axe is inconvenient. I realize this 9,999 is not simple. His talent is probably quite outstanding, worth befriending. Alright, what do you want to trade for it? He sends an item illustration immediately. Normal talent summoning card, quality green. Effect upon use randomly summons 1 ordinary laborer who can assist with production, gathering, or combat with an extremely low chance of summoning a talent with special abilities. Talent summoning card. Master Daihei came from a special talent summon card. What about this normal one? Only green, with the word normal, but if it can summon a living person, it's a stable source of labor in combat. I asked tentatively whether he's willing to trade this. I call Daihei, resting eyes on the reclining chair, over to look. He squints and curls his lip. Boss, whatever this thing summons will at best be a normal person. They can help out, maybe dig the tunnel, but they won't produce a legendary cuisine master like him. Even so, in a place of scarce manpower, a normal person is a treasure. 9,999 quickly sends more. Ernest, to be honest. He opened 2 of these from a blue chest earlier, used one himself, and summoned a builder named Daioku. As strong as an ox, and his skill increases strength, but he eats a lot. His tunnel output barely feeds them both. He can't afford to feed another. Also, his friend in another area with an intelligence-gathering talent gave him a tip which he passes along as a bonus. The more people in your tunnel, the harder the monsters become. Blue chest. Outrageous luck. Besides me, this cheater, someone else actually opened one. His haul fed himself and a strong man with surplus left over, far exceeding 99% of players. European Emperor talent, almost certainly. In novels, these are high potential stocks, and I have to build a relationship. Deal, I decide, but your card is more valuable than my sword. I can't take advantage of you. I take an energy drink from my backpack. With Chef Daihei around, I don't need to laboriously dig, so it's useless to me. Might as well do a favor. An European Emperor's goodwill is worth it. I offer to add a bottle of energy drink, tell him drinking it during combat eliminates fatigue, and to keep in touch when he finds good stuff. You're generous, boss. 9,999 clearly hadn't expected the bonus, and cheerfully completes the trade. We add each other as friends. Card in hand, glowing green. I glance at the luck +1 buff still ticking, and rub my hands. Let's see what kind of normal person my luck, blessed by Master Daihei, can summon. Use. I chant silently. The card turns into soft white light, slowly spreading. A tall, slender figure gradually becomes clear, wearing simple yet well-fitted leather armor. A cascade of silver hair flowing like moonlight, dazzling in the dim tunnel. Pointed ears peeking out. Non-human. When the light fades completely, she opens her eyes. A pair of emerald green pupils, clear as a forest lake. Next second, she kneels on one knee, right hand over her chest, and bows her noble head to me. Elf archer Liana greets her master, voice clear and pleasant, like wind across a lute string. I'm utterly stunned. This is what they call a normal person. System, do you have some kind of misunderstanding about the word normal? I quickly step forward and help Liana up, feeling the cool texture of leather armor. Get up quickly, you don't need to do that. As I speak, I open her attribute panel. Name Liana, race elf, class archer, level 1 increased through combat participation, loyalty 80, born follower. Attributes, health 200, strength 11, agility 12, constitution 10, spirit 10, defense 5, skills, archery mastery passive. As a member of the elf race, you are a born sharpshooter. When using bow-type weapons, damage increased 10%. Accuracy increased 50%. Hiss. Good heavens. Base attributes far below Daihei's. but she's a ranged class with combat skills, 50% accuracy boost, practically a built-in scope. With her, I essentially gain a mobile defensive arrow tower. I glance at Daehei by the stove, gesturing with the big ladle, apparently researching a new recipe. Then at Liana standing quietly and gracefully beside me. One top-tier logistics and melee powerhouse. One precise ranged damage dealer. Perfect combination. Security skyrockets. I even start calculating whether I should proactively go digging to hunt isolated monsters. Liana, I say, suppressing excitement. You should be good with this. I hand her the green longbow. She takes it, fingers gently brushing the bow stave, a flicker of nostalgia and confidence shining in the emerald eyes. She doesn't speak, just takes an arrow and knocks it. Voom. The bowstring draws to a full moon, movement fluid, graceful, powerful. A common arrow seems imbued with life in her hands. Whoosh. The arrow leaves the string, turning into a blur barely visible, accurately striking a thumb-sized protrusion on the rock wall 6 meters away, burying halfway in, fletching, humming. My eyelids twitch violently. This damn thing is called normal. I look at her incredibly skillful archery and can't suppress the smile. This isn't an ordinary person. This is clearly a hidden SSR pulled from a common pool with the blessing of the European Emperor Aura. I pat her shoulder with satisfaction, feeling tough leather. Good, excellent. From now on, like Master Daehei, don't call me Master. Sounds awkward. Just call me Boss. No feudal oppression stuff. Just casual, wanting to bridge the gap. We'll be fighting side by side and Master always feels strange. Liana's emerald eyes blink, seemingly curious about the word boss, but she obediently bows slightly, a faint smile on her lips. Yes, boss. A crisp system notification rings in my head. Follower Liana has developed a good impression of you. Loyalty +1. Current loyalty 81. There's this kind of operation. Just saying a few words can increase loyalty. I'd thought loyalty required gifts, equipment, or fighting together. Gives me a tiny confidence in my personal charm. Daehei sees this and comes over, scratching the back of his head with his fan-like hand, smiling honestly that a boss is a boss, has personal charm, unlike him who only knows how to mess with food. I'm amused. Then a thought pops up. I look at Daehei, then at Liana beside me, expression a bit more serious. Oh, right, I've always forgotten to ask. Master Daehei, Liana, do you remember your memories before being summoned? Wanted to ask this for a long time. Are they merely data NPCs created by the system, or were they once truly existing lives? Both fall into brief silence. A rare trace of confusion appears on Daehei's usually kind face. He thinks hard, then says uncertainly that he doesn't really remember. Boss, it just feels like he slept for a very, very long time in a very dark, quiet place. Then suddenly a ray of light pulled him out, and when he opened his eyes, he saw me. He pauses and adds, there's a very clear thought in his mind, to assist me well, to use his cooking to ensure I eat and drink well and survive in this world. Liana nods, cool voice carrying a hint of confusion. Her feeling is similar, like she had a very, very long dream where everything was blurry. After waking, only the instinct to fight remained in her mind, and to follow my commands. So you were alive before, I press. The question seems to touch the depths of their memories. Daehei frowns deeply, trying to recall, ultimately shakes his head. It should be, he feels he wasn't created out of thin air. He should have a past, his own story. But the memory is like locked by a big lock. He can see it, but can't open it. Liana softly echoes. She has the feeling too. Her archery, her combat skills feel etched in her bones, not instilled by the system. She should have had a home, had companions. I listen. Alive. They're very likely living beings for some unknown reason captured by the rules of this mind world. Memories sealed, existences in summoning card form. My mood turns heavy. If they're all living people, summoning them. I shake my head, no longer thinking about unanswerable questions. If I can't figure it out, I won't think. A survival principle. The most important thing is improving strength and surviving. Only by surviving do I have a chance to explore these secrets. I glance at the time. Haven't used any of the 10 daily spinner recycle chances. A core skill yielding resources and surprises daily. Can't waste it. I open the chat channel, preparing to acquire electronics the usual way with food or water. Before I can post, the channel is suddenly flooded with a message plus a screenshot. B2, 5688 excitedly posts a dagger illustration. Fine vampiric dagger, quality green, attack 1-5. 2, special attribute lifesteal +1, restoring 1 HP per successful attack. Hahaha, brothers, I got a drop, one-shot kill using Big Shot 9527 smelting furnace. A green weapon with lifesteal. I'm going to stand and fight monsters head-on from now on. The channel ignites. Holy crap, lifesteal attribute divine artifact. Damn it, why is it always someone else? Woo woo woo, the same furnace rented for money. Why can theirs drop? Am I destined to be unlucky? Big Shot's furnace is truly awesome. Though chances are low, it really can create miracles. Amid the envy, the lucky player DMs me. Big Shot, are you there? Tone excited and incoherent. I reply with a question mark. Big shot. Thank you so much. If not for your furnace, I'd never have touched a green weapon in my life. To express gratitude, I have some things here. Wonder if you're interested. A trade request follows. I open it. Several electronic products in the trade slot. Several old phones with shattered screens, a mouse with a broken scroll wheel, Bluetooth earbuds with only one side, a dusty computer monitor clearly a model from over a decade ago. On the other side, he asks for nothing. A free gift? A bit surprised, I reply, asking if he's sure. I can trade supplies for these. No need, he replies instantly. Big shot. Your generosity providing the furnace is already a huge kindness. The dagger's value is higher than all his worldly possessions. If I don't mind these small items, please accept as a token of respect. From now on, whenever he digs up such things, he'll save them for me. Looking at his sincerity, I feel a little emotional. In this world, more people understand gratitude than not. I no longer decline openly accepting the tribute. Trash to others, treasures to me. Thanks. If you get good things in the future, prioritize finding me, I reply, acknowledging the favor. Closing chat, I look at the dozen-plus brand new recycled materials and feel great. Spinner, time to work. The familiar red cartoon phone phantom whooshes out, happily spinning a circle. Instruction received, evaluating cool mouse, value low, technology content low, integrity high, recycle successful, option A rye bread ×1, option B white treasure chest ×1. Ample reserves plus furnace rent mean basic resources aren't urgent. What I want now are blueprints and special items from chests. Choose B, recycle successful, white chest ×1. I follow suit through the remaining phones, Bluetooth earphones, keyboards. Luck has run out for today. 8 chest picks yield 10 white chests and scattered bread and water. The most outrageous, the keyboard yielded not resources in chest, but resources in a weapon. Keyboard, quality white common, attack power 5. 1-4, described as 1 key opens the heavenly gate. The key is here. Exclusive weapon for keyboard warriors. Just as I'm about to use my last recycle for the day, a voice DN arrives. B2. 1435 begging. Boss, are you there? Do you still have weapons? I need one urgently. I dug up a monster and my pickaxe broke so I can't beat it. I saw you've been collecting luxury goods these past 2 days. I have a Patek Philippe watch I dug up. Can I rent a weapon? I'll return it after I kill this monster, please. Patek Philippe, top luxury on Blue Star, the blue-blooded noble of watches. Even an entry-level piece worth a fortune. Someone actually dug one up. The distress sounds sincere. I can almost hear a grown man about to cry. My finger hovers. I'm not a bleeding heart, but in the face of absolute profit, I don't mind lending a hand. Lend a weapon in exchange for a top watch I can recycle. Only a fool would refuse. The keyboard has been sent. Hand over the watch, I reply. Simple, direct, no excess words. Almost instantly, the trade request pops up. He clicks agree in a flash, apparently afraid I'll change my mind. Trade successful, obtained Patek Philippe Celestial watch ×1. Trade successful, lost keyboard ×1. I don't even bother considering whether he'll survive or return the keyboard. With that exquisitely crafted watch whose dial seems to conceal a brilliant starry river lying quietly in my backpack. Everything is worth it. Spinner, time to work, bid hall. I suppress excitement, roar softly inside. The red phantom whooshes out, happily circling me twice, seemingly sensing the extraordinary nature of this target. Instruction received. Evaluating Patek Philippe Celestial watch. Value high, precious metal content high, special craftsmanship value contained high, integrity excellent, recycle successful. 2 dazzling options appear. Option A, iron ingot ×10, emerald ×1, green chest ×1. Option B, blue chest ×1. I choose B without hesitation. A deep blue chest materializes, suspended quietly before me. Deep breath, touch, click. Lid opens immediately, dazzling blue fills the tunnel. As the light fades, 2 items rest at the bottom, a fruit and a book. The fruit is about fist-sized, entirely crimson, surface like carved from ruby, covered in fine crystalline facets refracting charming halos in the dim light. A faint sweet fragrance drifts into my nostrils, revitalizing spirit. Crimson crystal fruit, quality blue excellent. Effect permanently increases strength by 1. Restriction only usable by players, each person limited to 10 fruits. Permanent attribute point, a supreme item. I pick it up and swallow in a few bites. A warm current spreads from my stomach, rapidly flowing through limbs and bones. I can feel my muscle fibers cheering, strength rising slowly and steadily in an incredible manner. Panel check, strength quietly changed from 12 to 13. I turn to the other item, the thick antique leather book. Basic architecture compendium, quality blue, effect after use grants mastery of 6 basic construction blueprints. I touch it. It transforms into blue light, turning into 6 blueprints. Notifications flood. Simple cabin blueprint provides a safe, comfortable resting environment. Comes with settled buff. After staying all attributes plus 1 lasting 24 hours, stacks with other similar buffs, can only be built once, requires wood ×20 stone material ×40. Simple toilet solves biological needs and maintains environmental hygiene. Grants refreshed buff after use. Spirit +1 lasting 4 hours. Can only be built once. Requires wood times 10 stone material times 5. Simple kitchen blueprint, basic kitchen. Allows more complex cooking dishes made here have a chance to gain 1 point of random extra attribute lasting 4 hours. Can only be built once. Requires stone material times 30 wood times 10 iron ingot times 2. A kitchen. A voice of surprise comes from behind me. Chef Daehei has approached at some point, eyes fixed on the kitchen blueprint, his gaze hotter than if he'd seen a peerless beauty. Boss, this is great. This is amazing. If dishes made with his skill can get the bonus from this kitchen. He rubs his hands excitedly, chubby face flushed. The taste, the effect, simply unimaginable. I smile and tell him don't worry, I'll set it up for him right away. My gaze continues down. Small warehouse blueprint. Provides 100 extra storage slots. Can only be built once. Requires wood times 20 iron nail times 10. Planter box blueprint. Allows planting various plant seeds. Can be built repeatedly. Requires wood times 2 soil times 1. Wooden fence blueprint. Basic defensive structure. Attributes defense 10 durability 200. Requires wood times 2 per meter. I let out a long sigh. Wooden house. Toilet. Kitchen. I'm momentarily at a loss whether to laugh or cry. Building a small house in a pitch-black mine tunnel, the image feels strange no matter how I think about it. Although my tunnel is over 10 meters high with ample space, it's like pitching a tent inside a submarine, an unnecessary action. But the attribute bonuses on the blueprints make refusal impossible. This isn't unnecessary. This is clearly adding wings to a tiger. Build. Must build. Restrictions say each can only be built once in the current area. I calculate available materials. Stone and iron ingots still abundant. Nails even less a problem since the furnace can turn 1 iron ingot into 50 nails. The only shortage is wood. The 3-piece set of house, kitchen, and toilet needs 40 wood total, and my backpack is short. Furnace fees continuously supply materials, but wood usage is too high. Time to pick up scraps again. I chuckle self-deprecatingly. My C-rank recycle talent has its uses. I open the trade channel. I'm now somewhat famous as a luxury goods recycler and weapons dealer with high reputation. Incredibly easy to exchange basic food for old broken furniture that takes up space. Soon, at the cost of a few pieces of rye bread, I acquire over 20 pieces of scrap from different players. Broken chairs, ruined tables, old cabinets. C-rank talent recycle activated. Recycling damaged wooden chair, recycle successful, obtained wood times 5. Recycling broken-legged coffee table, recycle failed. Item 2 damaged. A series of prompts flashes and my face turns slightly pale. Continuously activating the talent consumes far more mental energy than imagined. After the 15th piece only 4 succeeded, 20 wood gathered, when a strong dizziness strikes and forces me to stop. This talent can't be used without restraint. I won't be able to use it for the next 2 days, I note, rubbing temples. Brief rest. Then to the blueprints. Build all. The materials transform into streaks of light, interweaving and converging in the open space. The ground vibrates slightly. Stones and wood are shaped by an invisible large hand, rapidly building, joining. From the previously empty ground, an exquisite small house of about 20 square meters rises, connected to a 10 square meter independent toilet. The entire process takes a dozen seconds, full of fantastical tech. You have entered a comfortable living environment. Your spirit is slowly recovering. Stepping into the small house, warmth envelops me. Mental fatigue eases considerably. Chef Daehei is first to rush into the kitchen, like a child finding his favorite toy, stroking the brand new stone stove, muttering that good heavens, this stove, this space. Boss, tonight he'll show me what he can do, guaranteed to make me swallow my tongue. I scratch my head. The house isn't big, fits 2 beds at most. With 3 people, how to solve the accommodation. Daehei seems to notice my predicament and pats his chest. Boss, it's fine, he'll just live in the kitchen. Be with his pots and pans. Cozy. Boss, my duty is to protect you. Liana's tone is serious. No impurities in the emerald eyes. You live in the wooden house. I can stand guard outside. No danger will approach. I ponder for a moment and have an idea. The wooden house space is quite large. I'll get another bed from the trade channel, 1 on each side. No sooner said than done. I first use all the expansion scrolls. The tunnel area increases from 60 square meters to 67, the previously cramped space much more spacious. Then I easily acquire 2 ordinary single wooden beds and several quilts in the trade channel for a bottle of water. Common items without attributes. Easy to trade. I place the comfortable single bed on one side of the wooden house, and the other ordinary bed on the other side. Find a quilt and some recycled rags. Simply make a partition curtain and hang it in the center. A simple 2-room, 1 living setup complete. The other bed and quilt go to the overjoyed Daehei, who carefully moves them into the kitchen as if they were treasures. Everything arranged. Time check. Only 4 in the afternoon. 2 hours till dark. Haven't mined today. Not in a hurry to open the chests yet. Do that after mining. In case I dig up one, I hand the pickaxe to Liana and ask her to help with mining while I go back to the furnace to continue forging weapons to trade for supplies. Suddenly, I find the chat channel has exploded with messages frantically scrolling. Holy crap, where are my treasure chests? I've been mining all afternoon and haven't even seen a shadow of a white chest. Me too, yesterday I could still dig up 2. Today none. How are we supposed to live? Help, does anyone have food? I'm starving, trading my last 10 stones for a piece of bread. Any kind soul. Did this game change the drop rate? If this continues, everyone is finished. Wails of despair. I frowned slightly. Treasure chest drop rate has decreased. I recall my own. Since coming to this mine world, I seem to have never personally dug up a single chest. Whether white, green, or blue, all mine came from spinner recycle rewards. Could it be all my luck went into awakening this heaven-defying talent? So I became a mining insulator. The thought flashes, but I don't dwell. It isn't important whether I personally dig chests. What matters is I can continuously obtain chests through recycle. But the reactions make me alert. This mine world seems to be tightening the noose around all players' necks. Deep breath, eyes solemn. I have the recycle system and Chef Dehe. Not worried about food and drink for now, but if the overall environment deteriorates and resources become extremely scarce, trading for special items becomes harder and my development will be restricted. Let's continue making weapons, I mutter, walking to the furnace, swinging the hammer. Tonight probably won't be peaceful. After a batch, I rest briefly, then take over digging myself. I dig and dig, only stone material and ore. Suddenly I swing, and with a crisp crack, the rock wall in front of me doesn't crumble into stones as usual, but collapses inwards, revealing a pitch-black cave entrance. Deep, devoid of light, like the maw of a giant beast. I immediately stop. Something is wrong. If it were a monster, it should have roared and rushed out. I don't advance rashly. I open the friends list and find B2. 9999. Buddy, have you ever dug up a black hole? Not a monster, just an entrance. He replies almost instantly, surprise in his tone. What do you mean, a black hole? Big bro, wait a moment. I'll ask a friend with intelligence. Talent from another zone. A few seconds later, he sends a chat screenshot. Instance. An independent space formed by mine tunnel collapses or special geological structures, internal environment, monsters, and resources all different from the outside world. Instance treasure chests yield rich rewards. Types include material instances, monster nests, trap tomes, etc. Note: after entering, you will be temporarily isolated from the outside world and unable to use any communication channels. Big bro, that person's talent can only detect this much. Your luck is incredible, but it's hard to say if this is good or bad. I ask, why hasn't anyone mentioned this in the channel? 9999 is silent a moment, then sends a meaningful line. Perhaps some people have dug them up before, but those who went in never had a chance to come out and speak. A chill crawls up my spine. Indeed, this world was never a gentle make-believe game. Death is the norm. After thanking him, I close the window and look back. Chef Dehe is humming a tune in the kitchen, meticulously wiping his beloved big ladle with a rag. Liana sits on the steps of the wooden house, carefully maintaining her longbow. The elf's unique focus gives her an aloof aura, as if warning others to keep distance. With these two reliable companions, I'm not alone. I know well that in a world where chest drop rates steadily decrease, complacency only leads to a dead end. To develop and live better, I have to seize every possible opportunity. Risk and opportunity coexist. Master Dehe, Liana, prepare yourselves. We have a new place to explore. My voice is steady and strong. I take out materials and make 3 simple wooden shields. Quality white, defense +5, can absorb part of damage on successful block. Crude, but better than nothing. Alright boss, do we have new ingredients again? Dehe's eyes light up. He grabs his big ladle and wooden shield, full of vigor. Liana silently stands, ties the shield to her right arm, holds her bow in her left, enters combat stance. Once ready, I take a deep breath and step first into the dark cave entrance. A slight weightlessness, the scenery before my eyes rippling like water a stone was thrown into. When vision clears, we're already in a massive underground karst cave. The air damp and cool, carrying mixed earth and fungi. Above, a towering rock ceiling with countless stalactites. All around, giant mushrooms taller than a person emitting faint blue-green bioluminescence, the only light in this underground world. The ground underfoot soft humus, in the distance, several caves vaguely visible leading to unknown places. You have entered the instance, Wailing Cavern. Wailing Cavern, I mutter. The name doesn't sound like a good place. Spear in one hand, shield in the other. I survey cautiously, about to pick a direction, when a mournful wolf howl erupts from a thicket beside us without warning. A dark shadow leaps out. A giant wolf comparable to a male lion, gray-black fur, blood-red eyes like lanterns fixed on us. Wailing Dreadwolves, Grade-Green Elite, Race Beast, Attributes Health 500 Attack 30 Defense 10, Skill Frenzy, described as frequent visitors of the Wailing Cavern. Prolonged confined environment has made them savage. Fangs and claws can easily tear through any defense other than steel. Elite Monster. My pupils contract. I adopt a defensive stance, spear pointing at the Dreadwolf. Someone is faster. Take the shield, Chef Dehe roars, surprisingly moving first. His massive body erupts with agility that belies his size. The simple wooden shield whistles through the air and slams squarely into the wolf's face. Bang. -96. The menacing wolf is dazed by the shield bash, stumbles, falls to the ground. It shakes its head and just begins to rise when Chef Dehay's big iron ladle comes crashing down. Clang. -95. Its head and the ladle make intimate contact, another wave of dizziness. Just then an arrow shoots silently from behind me, accurately embedding itself in the wolf's struggling eye socket. -128 weak point attack. Awu. The pain drives it completely insane. A mournful howl and an ominous red glow emanates from its fur, speed and strength surging. It violently shakes its head, forcefully breaks free from Dehay's suppression, ignores the fat man close by, and transforms into a red afterimage lunging straight for Liana behind us. Aggro shifted. "Oh no," Chef Dehay exclaims, wanting to chase but too late. Lightning flash. I move. Without hesitation, I slam my side hard into the wolf's waist like a cannonball. Wolves have copperheads, iron legs, tofu waists. The waist is the weak point. Bang. -30. The immense impact forcibly interrupts the pounce, sending it flying sideways to crash heavily into a glowing giant mushroom. The cap shatters. Juices splatter. Before I can steady myself, a second wailing dreadwolf silently pounces from the shadows on the other side. Sharp claws aimed straight for Dehay's back. "Heh, you little rascal. Still trying to ambush your grandpa Tay." Dehay doesn't even turn his head, swings the shield back and precisely blocks the claw attack. Wood splinters flying. He twists his waist with the momentum, swings the big iron ladle in a full circle with a whistling sound, and smashes it toward the second wolf's head. The scene becomes a one-on-one skirmish. I face the one-eyed wolf, even more frenzied after injury, using shield and spear to firmly pin it down, creating openings for Liana behind me. I glance at the other battlefield out of the corner of my eye. Chef Dehay and the second frenzied wolf fight back and forth, clang of pots and pans against claws and fangs incessant. The fat man cursing loudly with vigor. "Let you gnaw on your Grandpa Day's pot lid. Take this, a double-fried crip, and behold my great ladle of soul-stirring." I refocus, seize an opening, forcefully shove the shield forward. The one-eyed wolf stumbles. A huge vulnerability opens. Liana, before I finish speaking, another arrow pierces the air. Target this time the joint of the wolf's supporting front leg. Pfft. -50. The arrow pierces flesh and skin accurately. The wolf lets out a mournful howl. Front leg goes limp. Massive body loses balance. Now, I stomp forward, my refined spear infused with all my strength, plunging fiercely into the wolf's softened beast-hide neck, piercing through. -108 weak point attack. You have killed the wailing dreadwolf's elite. Warm wolf blood splatters over me. I pull the spear and gasp heavily. Looking back, Chef Dehay's battle has also ended. He stands with one foot on the corpse of the other wolf, wiping sweat from his forehead with his sleeve. Seeing me look over, he flashes a wide white-toothed grin. "Boss done. Extra meal tonight. He thinks this wolf's hind leg meat looks good. Firm texture. How about charcoal grilled wolf legs sprinkled with cumin and chili? That's the real deal." My mouth twitches. Before I can reply, the system prompts, "Obtained wolf meat ×2, softened beast hide ×4. Good harvest." But just as we killed the two and slightly relax, from the depths of the karst cave a low hoarse roar as if from the netherworld slowly echoes. Roar, not loud but carries an indescribable pressure that makes the entire cave ground tremble slightly. Air seems to solidify instantly. All three of us change expression in unison, a shiver from the depths of our souls. Chef Dehay, who had just been excitedly planning barbecue, smile freezing on his face. He swallows hard and mutters, "Boss, this guy it seems much bigger than those two things just now. Far beyond what the two elite wolves compared to. There's a big guy in the depths of the cave." As if awakened by that hellish roar, twin crimson eyes light up one after another in the dark shadows of the surrounding cave. 1, 2, 3. A full 7 wailing dreadwolves silently pad out of the darkness, surrounding the three of us completely. The damp chill in the air instantly transforms into bone-piercing killing intent. My heart sinks. 2 elite monsters already took all our strength. Now 7. Liana's face turns pale. She instinctively knocks an arrow, but her arm trembles slightly. This is simply not a battle we can win. 2 was the limit. What do we do now? We were too careless. Our current equipment and attributes make challenging this instance too difficult. Is this cave survival game going to end here with me becoming a pile of wolf dung in the wolf den? At this moment of despair, a chubby figure blocks my path. "Boss, Miss Liana, step back a bit." Chef Dehay's voice is still honest and simple, but his tone carries undeniable calm. I'm startled. He raises a hand to adjust the comical white chef's hat on his head, and the next second his entire aura dramatically changes. His chubby body seems to inflate, rapidly becoming tall and robust, height increasing to nearly 2 meters, muscles bulging all over, stretching the loose uniform taut. His kind, friendly, chubby face also transforms. Contours become distinct, gaze sharp, turning him into a handsome, resolute, middle-aged man. The most bizarre, his snow-white chef's uniform and hat, visibly stained with an inky blackness, dark red veins like blood vessels slowly flowing within, exuding an ominous, sinister aura. A faint red glow emanates from his eyes as he scans the wolf pack, a cold arc forming on his lips. A bunch of uncivilized mangy dogs dare to bare their fangs in front of my boss. He growls, extending his left hand. Pot, come. Clang. A pitch-black iron pot appears from thin air, held steadily in his hand. Right hand glows brightly, and after the light dissipates, a grotesquely shaped cleaver exuding an unsettling ethereal glow abruptly appears. I'm utterly dumbfounded. What is going on? How can Chef Dehe transform? What leaves me even more speechless is yet to come. Chef Dehe, after transforming, faces the 7 man-eating dreadwolves and calmly begins to wield the cleaver. He doesn't charge at any wolf, but performs dazzling chopping, slicing, dicing, and cleaving motions in the empty air. The void seems to become his cutting board. As he moves, crisp green lettuce leaves, glistening cold noodles, plump peanuts, tender cilantro sprigs appear out of thin air, clattering into the large iron pot. The entire process is fluid and graceful, filled with an indescribable rhythm, as if he isn't preparing to kill enemies, but preparing a cold dish. I open my mouth, unable to utter a single word. Liana is even more bewildered, emerald eyes filled with the confusion of who am I, where am I, what am I doing? Please, we're in a life-or-death battle. This isn't a culinary school graduation performance. Chef Dehe completely ignores our expressions. He pulls 2 jars from the pocket of his blackened chef's robe, twists open the lids, generously pours a large amount of chili oil and minced garlic into the pot. A pungent, spicy aroma instantly permeates the air, evenly coated in sauce. Then he taps the giant iron ladle against the rim. The ladle grows enormous. He scoops a full measure, aims it at the wolf pack, and flings. Dark cuisine, life-taking mixed salad. The moment the dish leaves the ladle, it suddenly erupts with an intensely thick, sickly green light. It disintegrates in midair, forming a green storm of death, like a giant python opening its bloody maw, sweeping toward the wolf pack. Awoo! In an instant, patches of -50 damage pop up, dense and numerous. Piercing screams rise and fall, but quickly come to an abrupt halt. Wherever the green mist passes, those fierce wailing dreadwolves seem to have their bones extracted, bodies rapidly shriveling and decaying. Before they can even struggle, they flop limply to the ground. 1 minute later, the green mist dissipates. The whole world falls silent. The 7 arrogant wolves have all turned into charred corpses smoking with black fumes on the ground, deader than dead. Your follower Dehe killed wailing dreadwolves ×7. Congratulations, obtained wolf meat ×7. Softened beast hide ×7. Fangs ×2. The system notification pulls me back from immense shock. When I look at Chef Dehe again, he has reverted to chubby old man form, leaning on his knees, panting heavily, face pale as paper. Master Dehe. I rush forward, catching his tottering body. Boss, cough cough, I'm fine, just a bit exhausted. He grins, smile full of fatigue, his spiritual energy. He can only make 1 dish like this a day. He'll be fine after some rest. Seeing his weak state, I don't hesitate, taking the self-heating military ration I'd been reluctant to use and thrusting it into his hand. Eat it. He doesn't stand on ceremony, tears open the packaging and eats heartily. With the high-calorie food in his stomach, his complexion visibly becomes much rosier. The 3 of us rest in place a moment and collect the spoils. I look into the depths of the cave. Although the terrifying pressure has disappeared, the roar that originated from the depths of my soul is still clearly imprinted in my mind. The 7 wolves just now were probably just an appetizer. The real big guy is still waiting inside. Currently, there seems to be no other exit. To leave this damned instance, we'll most likely have to deal with the final boss. Can you still walk? I ask Chef Dehe. No problem, boss. He pats his chest. Still a bit weak, but spirits have recovered considerably. Then let's go. I tighten my grip on the spear and glance at Liana, once again calm and composed beside me. Let's rest up, then go meet that big guy. We have no choice. This instance seems to have only one path. Cautiously, we advance along the cave wall, following the underground stream emitting a faint blue light, deeper into the grotto. We try, but water, soil, and giant mushrooms can't be collected. Merely scenery. The humus underfoot soft and slippery, occasional dripping sounds from afar exceptionally clear in silence. I grip the spear, eyes constantly scanning shadows for hidden monsters. After a few minutes, Chef Dehe suddenly raises a hand, signaling us to stop. Boss, wait. Liana and I instantly tense, adopting combat stance, vigilantly looking at dark corners. Don't be nervous. It's not a monster. Chef Dehe grins, chubby finger pointing at a damp rock wall on the side. Look over there. Good stuff. In the crevices, clusters of crystal-clear mushrooms grow, emitting soft white light exceptionally conspicuous in the dim environment. I focus and info appears. Cave delicacy mushroom, quality green, described as a gift from the depths of the earth, containing ultimate umami. High-end ingredients often only require the simplest cooking methods. Adding it to soup can elevate the deliciousness of the entire pot of soup by 1 grade. Chef Dehe's eyes light up, rubbing his hands, face full of obsession. Boss, with these mushrooms paired with the hind leg meat of the wolf we just hunted, to remove the gamey smell and make a rich broth, then sprinkle a little salt. My heavens, that taste, even immortals would want to take it home. I look at him, practically ready to set up a pot on the spot, and for a moment don't know what to say. This god of cookery's obsession with cooking has deeply penetrated his bones. Master Dehai, for now preserving our lives is more important. I shake my head helplessly, but still put the 10 mushrooms he carefully picked into my backpack, quietly wondering if this green ingredient, prepared by Chef Dehai, would add some heaven-defying attributes. We continue advancing, atmosphere much more relaxed. Chef Dehai keeps muttering professional terms like heat and seasonings, making it feel less like exploring a death instance, and more like a picnic in the wild. After another 2 minutes, his ingredient radar goes off again. Stop, there's more over there. This time on a small patch of humus, several half-meter-tall small shrubs grow, adorned with strings of bright red small berries resembling agates under the mushroom light. Cave goji berry, quality green, described as a pure yang item born in dark caves, a gas station for men, a beauty salon for women. After soaking in water or eating in dishes, it can slightly increase strength attributes and accelerate stamina recovery in a short period. This is good, really good. Chef Dehai picks a few bunches and hands them to me, hinting and muttering softly, "That dish just now was a bit taxing on the body. This is perfect for replenishment." I'm stunned a moment, then burst into laughter and tears. So this guy still remembers the consequences of using his ultimate. Another 10 portions of goji berries acquired. This instance is practically Chef Dehai's exclusive backyard. If other players saw this, they'd be green with envy. Others enter instances risking their lives. We enter as if on a field trip for ingredients. "Boss, why do you think there are so many good ingredients in this cave?" Dehai asks curiously as he collects. "Perhaps this place is inherently a special ecological environment," I reply casually, but inwardly wondering if it's because of the leader-level monster that such an environment formed here. Just as I'm thinking, Chef Dehai, walking in front, suddenly freezes. He no longer shouts but quickly crouches, shrinking behind a rock, turns back and makes a hush gesture, expression more solemn than ever. The air instantly solidifies. Liana and I immediately understand, crouch low, quietly creep over. The relaxed ingredient atmosphere vanishes, replaced by deathly silence. Looking forward through the crevice of the boulder, the sight makes me gasp. An incredibly vast circular clearing, dozens of meters in diameter, towering cave walls all around, countless stalactites hanging from above. The entire space resembles a natural gladiatorial arena. In the center, a terrifying giant wolf, size comparable to a grown elephant, lies on the ground feigning sleep. Its entire body covered in black iron fur, every muscle bulging, full of explosive power. Even while lying down, its height far exceeds me, breathing heavy and powerful, each breath stirring a gentle breeze rustling loose stones on the ground. Body covered with crisscrossing scars, one almost running through its entire back, deep enough to expose bone. These scars, far from making it look disheveled, add a sense of majesty from countless battles. Just looking, a wild, brutal aura rushes over, making breath difficult. Wailing Dreadwolf Leader, rank Blue Elite. Attributes HP unknown, attack unknown, defense unknown. Skills unknown. Described as the true ruler of the Wailing Cavern, the nightmare of countless challengers. Its sharp claws have torn apart warriors' shields, and its roar has intimidated the progeny of dragons. Do not be deceived by its massive size. Its speed far exceeds your imagination. A series of question marks sinks my heart. Blue Elite quality. Not an existence we can contend with at our current stage. The 7 green elite wolves before probably didn't even count as minions in front of it. I subconsciously glance at Chef Dehai beside me, staring intently at the giant wolf, face pale cold sweat seeping from his forehead again. Clearly his world-destroying ultimate can't be used a second time in a short period. How do we fight this? I smile bitterly inside, fearing a single slap from that guy could shatter my proud crab armor. Am I really going to die here this time? I start to consider whether to return the way we came. Don't know if I can escape successfully, but it beats dying here. Just as I'm feeling extremely anxious, a clear, firm voice softly sounds in my ear. "Boss, it's Liana." I turn my head and see the usually silent elven archer has at some point knelt on one knee, holding her green quality longbow horizontally in front of her. Her expression no longer her usual aloofness, but one of extreme focus, starlight swirling in the emerald eyes. Her entire demeanor subtly changed. "Perhaps," she says softly, "I can try." My heart skips a beat at Liana's offer. I tell her if even Chef Dehai could not handle the Dreadwolf Leader, can the archer she summoned with a normal talent card really pull this off? Since one breath from that wolf would blow her tiny frame away. I remind her its speed far exceeds what she imagines. Liana answers without flinching that elves are the darlings of the forest, and climbing is their instinct, then points at the giant stalactites hanging from the cave ceiling, and says she can attack from up there. I follow her gaze. Those stalactites are at least 20 to 30 meters above the ground. I ask about her arrows, since I remember she has only 40-something left. Her tone stays calm. For ordinary shots, no, but if every arrow hits a vital spot like the eyes or the open mouth, it will be enough. Daehei and I both gasp. Hitting the eyes of a moving target tens of meters below is something no human could do, but with her archery mastery passive granting 50% extra accuracy and the longbow's own attributes, perhaps she really can. I ask how she will get up there. She turns to the stout man beside her and says it might require Master Daehei's help. Daehei points at his nose and protests that he can't just throw her up like a cannonball. Liana says elves often used vines to traverse the forest and asks me for ripped cloth from the junk we dismantled earlier. She quickly ties the strips into a simple rope 2 meters long, hands one end to Daehei with absolute trust, and tells him to stand on the giant rock and hurl her outward using rotational force. Daehei nods heavily, leaps onto the rock, and begins spinning in place like a hammer throw athlete. 1 rotation, 2, 3, then with a fierce roar he releases. Liana's petite figure becomes an arrow released from a bowstring, flung high into the air. She stretches in mid-air with impossibly light posture, grabs onto a massive stalactite, and secures the rope around her waist to a protruding rock. Watching from below, I mutter that this is practically Spider-Man. Up high, Liana draws her bow and knocks an arrow with fluid, seamless movements. A faint sound of cut air, and an arrow like black lightning crosses the gap and pierces the half-closed left eye of the Dreadwolf leader. Weakness attack -45. The deafening roar that follows shakes the cave, but a second arrow is already slicing through into the depths of its open maw, embedding in the soft flesh of its throat. Critical hit -95, and the wolf's howl stops abruptly as if choked. I'm dumbfounded that this actually works, and I realize I had been thinking about this incorrectly from the start. I was treating this like a data-driven game where fighting required gear and brute force, forgetting this is a semi-real world where any seemingly bug-exploiting method is permitted as long as it works. The enraged Dreadwolf leader finds the source of attack and roars frantically up at Liana, but cannot reach her, and every time it opens its mouth an arrow teaches it to close it. After a few rounds it wises up and keeps its mouth shut, using its single eye to stare upward, but the next arrow accurately shoots toward its remaining right eye. Under intense pain it goes insane and turns to flee deeper into the cave. I shout a warning, and Daehei and I rush from behind the rock to block its escape from both sides. Cornered, the wolf raises its hill-sized paw to swipe at me, but as the paw rises another arrow hits the last sliver of eye socket exposed by the motion. Both eyes destroyed. Pain and darkness drive it into total madness. It tears at everything around it, ripping the glowing giant mushrooms to shreds, but the arrows from above continue like the Grim Reaper's death warrant, piercing its bloody eye sockets and roaring mouth from various tricky angles. I even see arrows draw visible arcs around the wolf, curving back to strike old wounds. Divine skill. After 5 full minutes, the arrogant Dreadwolf leader collapses with a thud, barely clinging to life. I dash forward and stab the spear into its throat with all my strength. Weakness attack -55. The body twitches, then dissolves into countless specks of light. The system congratulates me as B29527 for killing the instance leader, and confirms 5 quality Dreadwolf meat, 5 hardened beast hide, and 2 sharp fangs. A unique blue treasure chest appears where the wolf was, crafted entirely from unknown metal, with deep blue runes and a lifelike roaring wolf head carved on the lid. I look up and spread my arms. Liana leaps down from the stalactite, uses a giant mushroom for leverage, and lands steadily. She tells me she did it, her voice carrying post-battle exhaustion and subtle excitement. I praise her ecstatically, then place my hand on the wolf head and lift the lid. A rich blue light shoots into the sky, dyeing the clearing with a dreamy hue mixed with a hint of green. Big haul. I touch a pair of cold, savagely curved sword hilts, and pull out twin blades polished from wailing Dreadwolf's fangs. The blades long and narrow with natural blood grooves and chilling light. Hilts wrapped in hardened wolf hide. The wolf fang twin blades are blue excellent quality, dealing 25 to 45 attack with a 10% critical hit boost, and an attached active skill called Oni that raises attack power and attack speed by 10% for 1 minute on an hour cooldown. The leader's sharpest fangs harbor the beast's fury. These attributes completely surpass my fine spear, and I stow them away. The second item is a necklace woven from cyan leather, with a wind element magic core pendant, light in hand and carrying a cool breeze. The Gale necklace, blue excellent, grants agility +5, imbued with the power of wind so the wearer's movements are lighter. +5 agility, when my current base is only 9, more than half a stat from One Piece. I instinctively think of the figure that moved deftly in midair and never missed an arrow. The higher Liana's agility, the better her survival in complex terrain, and the better her firing rate. So this is tailor-made for her. The third item is a 50-square-foot mine tunnel area expansion card, also top tier. The last item is a set of form-fitting leather armor of soft tanned wolf hide, sleek with hard leather reinforcements and a faint green glow. The Gale leather armor, fine quality, grants defense +25 and agility +1. I walk over to the elven girl, silently tidying her arrows, and hand her the necklace and armor, telling her solemnly that we won this all thanks to her, that these are her spoils of war. She is stunned, her fingers unconsciously clutching the corner of her clothes. She knows what blue equipment at this stage means. She tries to refuse, calling it too valuable, but I tell her in an undeniable tone that on a team equipment should be prioritized for the core damage dealer, that her safety and output are the safety of our entire team. She no longer refuses and takes both items in both hands. The system tells me her loyalty has risen by 5 to 86, and her favorability has greatly increased. Daehei smiles knowingly and mutters that our boss is truly generous. Liana changes behind the giant rock. The green leather armor perfectly contours her slender body, outlining stunning curves and adding heroic charm to her elven elegance. While the blue gale necklace rests on her fair collarbone, its faint glow on her flushed cheeks. I take the chance to equip the Wolf Fang twin blades and instantly feel explosive power in my palms. The air swishes when I swing. A flash shimmers in the clearing and a softly glowing might portal appears. The instant's exit. Daehei confirms there are no more resources. I take a deep breath and tell them we are going home. Stepping out of the teleportation gate into the familiar mine tunnel feels like ages have passed. Before I can catch my breath, a system announcement explodes in the minds of all players congratulating B29527 for clearing the Wailing Cavern and rewarding me as the first in this area to clear an instance. With one green skill scroll, the world channel erupts in an avalanche of disbelief. Complaints that I am traveling by rocket given how fast everything has gone. Hangers-on begging to be carried. Players asking where the Wailing Cavern is so they can team up. And a sober voice pointing out that since Big Shot 9527 just got the first clear, it definitely is not easy. And going in for those who cannot even beat goblins is just being fodder. I ignore everyone and use the 50 square meter expansion card. The rock walls extend outwards with a roar, and the area reaches 117 square meters. My attention turns to the scroll glowing softly green in my backpack, woven from unknown plant fiber and warm to the touch. The green excellent skill scroll grants a random excellent grade skill, combat or life or support, usable by both players and followers. I currently have attributes and equipment but no skills, my combat relying entirely on Daehei and Liana, while I myself have nothing beyond stabbing and slashing. I silently wish for something powerful and use it. The scroll transforms into countless green light particles that swarm into my glabella like fireflies. A cool sensation spreads as if my brain is in a clear spring, my 5 senses infinitely magnified. The wind through the cave entrance, water droplets falling on a distant rock wall, Liana's steady breathing, Daehei's heavy panting. Every movement within 20 meters forms a 3-dimensional sound map with unprecedented clarity. The system tells me I have acquired perception, a green excellent passive support that lets me clearly detect all disturbances within a 20-meter radius. Not a combat skill. Disappointment flashes through me, then turns to pleasant surprise. A passive consumes nothing and is permanently effective, and a 40-meter alert zone covers my entire mine tunnel and beyond. If monsters ever try to ambush me again, I will react immediately and maintain absolute initiative. Seemingly ordinary, but priceless. In the world channel, someone addresses me, asking what amazing skill I got, joking whether it deals 999 damage with one slice. I reply with my mind that bad luck, it is a life skill called deep sleep that improves sleep quality and keeps me energetic for mining. The channel erupts in disbelief that Big Shot is humble bragging when they themselves have not slept in days. They pivot to asking whether the instance is easy to clear, what resources are inside. I decide to reveal a half-truth that both establishes my prestige and deters the reckless. The instance was a cave I accidentally dug up while mining, that I advise no one to try it at this stage, that I used all my trump cards and barely cleared by the skin of my teeth, that I am still covered in injuries. The channel quiets considerably, even Big Shot calls it a near-death experience. I lean against the rock wall, enjoying the long-lost relaxation of post-clear. There is over an hour until dark, just enough time to rest and treat myself and my 2 companions to a good meal. Daehei is already like a child with a new toy, processing the spoils. He places the blue direwolf leader meat on a clean stone slab, trims the fascia, cuts uniform pieces into a clay pot with water, washes a few crystal-clear cave umami mushrooms aside, and explains that the wolf meat has an earthy smell, so it needs blanching first, then pairing with the cave mushrooms to bring umami to its peak. He blanches the meat, puts everything in the pot, covers it, and adds another piece of wood to the stove. As the temperature rises, a rich aroma of meat and mushrooms fills the mine tunnel, and Liana's delicate nose twitches with anticipation. Half an hour later, the soup is turned milky white. Daehei lifts the lid, nods contentedly, and takes out the bright red cave goji berries, telling me the finishing touches here. He grabs a handful and scatters them as if sprinkling sacred offerings. The moment the berries fall into the soup, the entire clay pot erupts in dazzling golden light shooting up into the sky, almost tearing off the kitchen roof, and a clear, high-pitched dragon's roar explodes within. A golden dragon phantom of pure light spirals out of the pot, circles around Daehei once, roars at the sky, and dissipates into specks of golden light that merge back into the soup. My mouth opens wide enough to fit an egg. Daehei walks over carrying the now ordinary-looking pot, his face filled with uncontrollable excitement and lingering fear. The milky white broth seems coated with a faint golden glow, bright red berries floating on top. The aroma indescribable. I check the attributes. The delicious and nourishing wolf meat soup is a legendary cuisine, blue excellent quality, and the effect is that true gourmet food creates miracles. After consumption, all my attributes will permanently rise by 1, applying only to players and limited to 1 use each. The god of cookery accidentally triggered the true essence of divine culinary skills, perfectly blending top-tier ingredients with pure craftsmanship. My breathing stops. Daihei's extremely low probability passive has actually triggered, and all attributes are permanently +1, more terrifying than any blue equipment. Daihei's flushed face tells me he just felt the touch coming and it happened, that maybe it is the new kitchen, that good environment and cooking utensils are key to top-tier delicacies. He places the pot on the stone table and tells Miss Liana, almost embarrassed, that although the magical effect is useless for followers, the taste is absolutely superb. I serve a full bowl, hand it to Liana, and serve my own. As the soup hits my tongue, an ultimate warmth and deliciousness explode on my taste buds. Not just meat aroma or mushroom freshness, but a complex layered composite flavor. A warm current slides into my stomach and spreads through my limbs, sweeping away all the fatigue and hidden injuries from the instance battle. Every cell cheering. I close my eyes in comfort, feeling elevated. Liana sips in small mouthfuls, expressions slight but her widened emerald eyes and twitching ear tips say everything. After 1 bowl, I open my attribute panel and look at the tangible improvements, surging with heroic spirit. I walk over, pat Daihei heavily on the shoulder, and tell him 1,000 words finally converged into 1 sentence. Master Daihei, having you is my good fortune. Meanwhile, in another corner of Area B2, in a dark and damp mine tunnel, a muffled thump rings out with flying dust. A young man with glaring red hair and a savage knife scar across his face kicks a hunched old man to the ground. He curses the old piece of junk, that he did not open him just so he could eat free food. He is player B2144 nicknamed Dohyang, and he points at the old man curled on the ground and orders him to dig up a treasure chest today or he will not eat. The old man silently climbs up and dusts himself off, accustomed to this treatment, and drags his heavy steps to the rough rock wall to swing mechanically. Dohyang spits dismissively and opens his player panel. When he sees the bright red regional announcement on the world channel, the muscles on his face twitch violently. The announcement congratulates B29527 for clearing the Wailing Cavern and rewards a green skill scroll. It is him again. Do-hyung's eyes turn red as jealousy and rage burn in his chest. Why him? Since the first day, this guy's name has never left the announcements. The first kill reward, the smelting furnace, and now even the first instance clear. Do-hyung stares at the digits as if to glare the person to death through the screen. He considers himself the chosen one, having awakened the A-rank talent Frenzied Swordsman at the start. Attack power off the charts, even able to emit blade energy, practically born for combat. In 2 days, no monster, wild wolf or goblin has survived 3 moves under his green quality machete. He had thought even if not number 1 in the region he was at least rare, but reality keeps slapping him. He mutters that a scrap collector should not be this impressive. He's been following 9527 and knows the guy keeps buying electronic waste and luxury goods in the channel. This has to be a life skill auxiliary talent at best, an ability to turn trash into treasure. How can a junk collector be stronger than him with his A-rank combat talent? It has to be luck. The guy's damn luck is too good. His gaze turns sinister as he mutters that if he ever runs into him. He glances at the old man and a cruel smile spreads on his lips. The old man came from a defective talent summoning card, useless for anything but manual labor and eating a surprising amount. But in Do-hyung's plan, the old thing has one more use. Cannon fodder. When he gets the chance to meet 9527, he will let the old man rush up first to draw fire, then sneak attack since a squishy life skill character would be a one-hit kill in front of his blade energy. All of 9527's supplies and treasure chests would be his. The hostility calms slightly. The only thing he lacks now is a minecart, the item that connects to other players' mine tunnels. With one of those, he could actively attack, plunder, and kill. He shouts impatiently at the old man to dig until the pickaxe breaks. The old man flinches and increases his swing rate, sweat dripping into the dry dust. Suddenly, a crisp sound unlike striking rock echoes, and the pickaxe snaps in the old man's hand. Do-hyung is about to erupt but sees the old man pointing dumbfounded at the spot he had just dug. A white treasure chest with iron edges is half embedded in the rock wall. Do-hyung's eyes light up, all impatience and anger transforming into pure greed. He darts forward, shoves the old man aside, who stumbles and nearly falls, and curses him to get lost. He rubs his hands and looks at the chest as if seeing glittering equipment and blueprints inside. This has to be the start of his chosen one luck streak. He pries the chest out and yanks open the lid. There's no dazzling light. Only a few items lie inside. 2 compressed biscuits, 1 500-milliliter bottle of purified water, and 1 worn-out t-shirt. His face freezes, then turns ashen. He grabs the t-shirt and yanks. The fabric rips into halves. He curses the dog system that he has a ranked talent and they give him this trash. He throws a biscuit on the ground and stomps it into pieces. The old man he pushed away looks at the food scattered messily on the ground, a flicker of indiscernible heartache and longing in his cloudy eyes, but in the end says nothing, silently picking up the pieces and eating them. After devouring the legendary meal, we feel invigorated. Daehei hums a tune while tidying his utensils, and I check the smelting furnace rental income. 33 wood, 3 rye bread, 3 purified water, 1 iron ingot. The iron ingot's value speaks for itself with resources scarce. I need to recycle more technological artifacts and precious metals, the surest path to high-level resources. As I ponder, the crystal light overhead flickers and dims. The second night has fallen. Daehei mutters whether tonight is a safe night, but a low hum starts beneath our feet, and the mine tunnel begins to tremble, then violently shake. The world channel explodes with cries of an earthquake, broken legs, screams as rocks fall. My perception frantically warns me. I look up. A strong sense of danger locks onto the area above my head, and a boulder the size of a human head whistles down. Daehei roars, swings his stainless steel ladle in a circle to brace against a side rock, and uses the wooden shield on his back to forcefully knock the boulder away. The wall above tears apart and gravel rains down, forming a deadly shower. I shout to get inside and rush toward the wooden house with shield and spear, protecting Liana while enduring impacts. Daehei brings up the rear, his ladle deflecting all approaching stones. As soon as we rush in, dense crashing erupts outside, but the bone-crushing stones only thud dully against the thick wooden roof and roll powerlessly away. Lingering fear washes over me. Fortunately, I built this house. The online user counter plummets at terrifying speed from 9,001 to 8,690. In 2 minutes, 300 more died. The channel fills with cries. People thank their shields. Others moan about cracked arms. The shaking gradually subsides. Just as everyone thinks the disaster has passed, my perception finds a chilling grinding from deep in the rock layers above. I say in a low voice that there is still something. The rock above the kitchen cracks and 3 yellowish snake-like monsters burst out. Eyeless heads with giant mouths of spiraling sharp teeth like high-speed meat grinders. The toothed sandworm is green common, 200 health, 50 attack, 0 defense, low defense but beware its teeth. They land and shoot at us as yellow blurs. But someone is faster. A green figure stands at the doorway, longbow drawn taut as a full moon. 3 whooshing sounds merge into one. 3 arrows pierce the spinning mouth parts of all 3 sandworms from 3 different angles. Weakness attack minus 210 total. Green viscous blood bursts and the worms tumble, twitching and dissipating into points of light. The system credits Liana with 3 toothed sandworm kills and rewards 5 sandworm skin and 1 green monster treasure chest. Liana lowers her bow with calm expression, as if she did something insignificant. Her attack power has made a qualitative leap with the new equipment. The channel has cries about large worms. The user count has dropped from 8,690 to 8,012. Natural disaster plus man-made calamity. This world is undergoing brutal selection. I confirm my friends list. Both 3838 and 9999's avatars are still lit, which puts my mind at ease. I take out all 11 white treasure chests from today's recycling, and the green monster chest. The whites are food, water, basic materials as usual. I toss them in without looking. The green is a size larger with a sandworm bas-relief on the lid. I open it. A green blueprint lies at the bottom. Sandworm leather boots blueprint. Green quality requires 1 sandworm skin and 1 softened beast hide. Must be crafted at a tailor's bench. Produces excellent boots with defense plus 5, agility plus 1, movement speed unaffected on sand. I have the materials, but my brow furrows. A tailor's bench is a specialized work building like my furnace, and lurking in the area channel I have never seen anyone mention it. Trade is out of the question. A familiar number appears in my mind almost subconsciously. B29999, that lucky guy whose luck is heaven-defying. I message him asking whether he has a tailor's bench blueprint. The reply is almost instant. He calls me boss, asks how I knew, says he is actually worried right now. He has already used the blueprint, but the materials are practically impossible. Wood, iron ingot, iron nails are fine, but it needs a sharp tusk as a needle, not the fangs from invading monsters. And he has been shouting in the trading channel forever and seen nothing, suspecting no monsters drop this thing. Sharp tusk. Did I not get 2 of those from the direwolf leader? I screenshot the Sharp Fang catalog entry and ask if this is it. 10 seconds of silence, then a flurry of messages calling me Big Shot, his actual dad, asking where I got this and to name my price. I tell him with amusement the Fang is not very useful to me, and he can have it. He cries that I am his god, his older brother. I tell him not to rush kinship, that I have a condition. I have a sandworm leather boots blueprint. Learn it. I provide 5 sets of materials. After he crafts them, he keeps 1 pair and gives the rest to me, and I get free processing fees in the future. The workstation rental can only use native blueprints, so for an external item I need him to handle the commission. The proposal benefits both. He immediately builds a tailor station, gets a free pair of green quality shoes, and gains a permanent blueprint. He says no problem, forget the fees, he will even cover the materials. Afraid I might change my mind, he sends another message that it feels wrong to just accept stuff from me, that he just acquired this and cannot use it. So consider it a thank you gift. He initiates a trade. Simple arrow blueprint, green quality, requires 1 wood, 1 iron ingot, 10 feathers to craft 50 simple arrows, providing 10 extra fixed damage. A godsend. Liana's arrows are depleted and feathers are cheap on the trade channel. I thank him, accept, and send the sharp fang, the boots blueprint, and 5 sets of materials. Almost instantly, a loud announcement resounds in every B2 area player's ears. B2999 has constructed the first simple tailor station, ushering in the era of light industry, and has rewarded 20 softened beast hides as a pioneer. The channel explodes again at another industrial revolution. That finally we will not run around naked. That 999 is the European king who started with a green quality axe. That the smelting furnace belongs to Big Shot 9527, and the tailor station to European king 999. And our area is taking off. 9999 has clearly calmed and announces that his station will be listed in rentals with 3 blueprints, all needing softened beast hide. Simple full leather armor, defense plus 15, 5 hide. Simple gloves, defense plus 5, 2 hide. Simple gloves, defense plus 5, 2 hide plus a 2% chance of excellent quality. Players reserve the first slot, offer double rent. In less than an hour I receive 4 brand new pairs of sandworm leather boots. Stats flawless. I hand 2 pairs to Daehei and Liana and tell them to put them on. Daehei grins and stamps his feet at the lightness from the agility boost. Liana silently accepts hers, changes quietly, gives me a slight elven bow, graceful and precise. I put on a pair myself, walk to the smelting furnace, open the new simple arrow blueprint, feed it materials. The furnace flares and 150 arrows glinting metallic cold are produced. I tell Liana to restock. She takes the quiver, feels its slight heaviness, senses subtle power, and a spark flashes in her eyes. The elven archer is now armed to the teeth. Night deepens. Daehei yawns, walks into the kitchen, pulls his single bed from his backpack and lies down. Soon snoring follows. Liana has put away her bow and her figure has disappeared behind the door. She sits on the bed wiping her bow with focused, graceful movements. I clear my throat and ask whether elves all live a very long time. She looks up, her turquoise eyes like clear gems in the dim light, recalls something distantly, and says most of her previous memories are gone, but she has a faint feeling she must have seen the blooming and wilting of flowers. Over 300 times, roughly equivalent to when human races reach adulthood. I nearly choke. Over 300. Staring at her flawless face, I subconsciously mumble that she could be my ancestor. Liana's pointed ears twitch. She clearly hears, but only gives me a brief indifferent glance and says nothing. I quickly change the subject and ask whether followers like her can have their quality itself improved beyond leveling, from green to blue or higher. The question is more to her liking. She replies that based on the fundamental knowledge this world gave her, it is possible, that it requires an item called a talent upgrade scroll, whose rarity seems far beyond a rare talent summoning card. Another item impossibly far away. I cannot help asking why followers like her can level up, but we players have no leveling system. Are we just to rely entirely on stacking stats through equipment? What happens if we encounter a monster equipment cannot handle? Liana is silent a moment and softly says, perhaps the Lord's method of growth is different from theirs. Right. Why dwell on it? Take things one step at a time. I let out a breath, agree, and tell her to get some rest, that heaven knows what trouble the system will stir up tomorrow. Daytime of the 3rd day, the mine tunnel and pickaxe refresh. My ore digging luck has been poor, and after 2 days I haven't even gotten close to a white treasure chest. Just as I am about to pick up my pickaxe, the channel erupts. Someone has dug up a living person. An NPC called the Wandering Merchant who collects items and gives ore coins. People ask what ore coins are. Can we exchange them for food? We can, but the discoverer just asked about a broken phone and was offered only 1 ore coin while 1 rye bread sells for 20. The channel goes silent 2 seconds, then erupts in violent complaints that 20 phones for 1 loaf is robbery, that trading directly with Big Shot 9527 gives 1 phone for 1 portion of food, that this merchant is unscrupulous. The discoverer adds that besides food the merchant sells blueprints, that he saw wooden helmet, wooden armor, and damaged iron armor blueprints all white quality at the unified price of 200 ore coins each. The mood shifts. 200 ore coins means 200 pieces of junk, but having something to look forward to is good, and they can save the rest after Big Shot only takes a dozen a day. I instantly have an idea. Wandering Merchant is not stealing my business. He is doing me a huge favor. I can use him to raise my collection threshold, filter out low-value junk, and let players save those for ore coins, while I focus on truly valuable rare items. I post in the channel that starting today I will only collect valuable technological artifacts and rare items, that I am temporarily stopping ordinary phones and broken tablets, that everyone can keep those for blueprints. Countless responses pour in. A complete computer host for 1 portion of food, a black disc called the Otherworld Record, an anchor beacon flashing blue light. The corner of my mouth curls up. I tell them I want them all. Trade by private message. Filtering takers, I exchange food and water for 15 extraordinary sounding items. The computer host, the Otherworld Record, the anchor beacon, several intact gold watches, a damaged mechanical core that looks like a battery, even an abstract oil painting no one can understand. Today's 10 recycle opportunities finally have a purpose. I tell Spinner to start. Spinner assesses the intact computer host. Medium value, medium tech, high integrity, recycle successful. Choose between 5 iron ingots plus 2 copper wires or 2 green chests. I choose B without hesitation. The gold watches, anchor beacon, the rest. I'll offer the green option. With the Otherworld record, the prompt changes. Rare information analyzed. Reward vinyl record player blueprint ×1. Then the damaged mechanical core triggers a warning of unstable high-energy reaction, asking whether to continue. My eyes narrow. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I choose yes. Excessive return from a high-risk item, 2 blue treasure chests. Today's 10 opportunities are used up. I count 8 green chests, 2 blue chests, 1 vinyl record player blueprint. The blueprint, green quality, requires 1 iron ingot, 1 copper ingot, 2 graphite, 2 wood. Comes with a classical music record. Beautiful singing relaxes the mind and slightly dispels fatigue and fear. Daily listening grants a 1-hour happy mood buff with mental recovery speed plus 10% and sanity plus 10. A great item in this depressing environment. My sanity is 98 out of 100, so no rush, but I put it away. I start with the greens. 2 green weapons, a pile of materials, and 2 blueprints that make my eyes light up. The shower room blueprint. Green quality, requires 30 stone, 2 copper ingots, 5 iron ingots, an independent space to wash away dirt and fatigue, physical cleanliness preventing illness, each use consuming 10 units of water, and the wooden water tank blueprint green quality requires 10 wood and 10 iron nails, a simple storage device for 100 units of water. I can take a shower. In this dusty mine tunnel that is an imperial luxury, and the disease prevention is invaluable in a survival game. But the shower description says water, not the drinkable purified water in my backpack. 10 units of water for 1 shower would mean 10 500 milliliter bottles, and no reserve could withstand that. Since the system provides a water storage device and clearly differentiates water from purified water, this means in the mine world there exist other sources of water that can be acquired but not directly consumed. I take a deep breath and look at the 2 blue chests. Excessive rewards from the damaged mechanical core. Value definitely far above the green chest. I open the first. There is no blinding light, only a few items at the bottom. 1 normal talent summoning card in green, and 1 earth source fruit in blue. My breathing hitches and my heart beats faster. A talent summoning card. Although green common, the value is undeniable since Daehei and Liana have proven the importance of talent for survival. I suppress the urge to use it immediately and look at the earthy fruit. Earth source fruit. Blue quality, after consumption constitution, permanently +1. I shove it into my mouth without hesitation. The flesh melts instantly and a thick warm current surges into my limbs as if endless vitality nourishes my flesh, tendons, and bones. I open my attribute panel, Constitution 11. I let out a long breath full of strength. I open the second blue chest, 1 pickaxe quantity upgrade card and 1 mine tunnel space expansion card of 10 square meters. The pickaxe card makes my eyes light up. After use the daily refresh number of pickaxes +1, doubling our digging efficiency. I use it immediately. The card envelops the lonely pickaxe leaning against the wall. The pickaxe's form flows like liquid until it slowly separates into 2 identical brand new pickaxes. I hand one to Daehei, who is wiping his ladle, telling him to use this one. He is startled, then takes it, weighs it, his eyes crinkling, saying our efficiency is doubled. I use the expansion card. With a faint rumble, the 4 walls extend and the space expands. Mine tunnel area 127 square meters. My gaze finally settles on the green normal talent summoning card. The main event of the day. I tell Daehei it is dinner time, to make something delicious to boost my luck. He looks troubled and says luck is hit or miss, that he cannot control that. I tell him fine, just treat it as breakfast, that I am hungry. He busies himself in the kitchen and a steaming hot burger arrives, golden bread holding pan-fried wolf meat drizzled with unknown sauce. The frenzied wolf meat burger, green quality, gives strength +1 and agility +1 for 4 hours. No luck attribute, but still good. I take a large bite, the meat tender and rich, eating until my mouth is slick. After I eat, I carefully pull out the card, take out the Survival in the Mine Tunnel Basic Handbook, flip to the page printed with the Goddess of Fortune, and solemnly bow. I chant devoutly that Supreme Celestial Venerable of immeasurable age, may all the deities show their power and give me someone who can fight. My actions both pious and comical. Daehei shakes his head while Liana tilts hers in curiosity, unsure what mysterious ritual the Lord is performing. I take a deep breath, abruptly raise the card, and shout to come forth my partner. The summoning card turns into a dazzling white light condensing into a short figure. The excitement on my face freezes. This height. It looks exactly like a cat. As the light dissipates, a calico cat clad in armor and walking upright appears, wearing lightweight woodchip armor decorated with acorn patterns. Its right paw holding a short staff topped with a cat paw design, looking quite professional. Liana's eyes brighten and she almost instinctively wants to pet its furry head. The calico cat faces me, properly cups its paws, and greets Hunter-sama and a soft kitten-like meow. I quickly bring up its panel. Charlie Phylene race. No class. Level 1 that can be upgraded through various methods. Loyalty 100. since Philines are my most loyal partners. Strength 5, Agility 8, Constitution 5, Spirit 10. Skill, All-Rounder, a passive that says felines are the hunter's best companions and can use exclusive tools to assist in combat with flash bombs and traps, wield weapons against fierce monsters, play the hunting horn for beneficial buffs, and help gather resources and manage the home, fighter, and support and housekeeper all in one. Although the attributes are not high, this all-rounder skill is absolutely heaven-defying. A universal utility cat. Loyalty maxed, no betrayal worry. A huge win. I clear my throat and tell Charlie I am not a hunter, that from now on he can call me boss. He salutes and asks me to give any orders. Liana finally cannot resist and steps forward to gently stroke his head. Charlie comfortably narrows his eyes and purrs. I hand him the extra pickaxe and tell him to try this for now. He looks at the pickaxe almost as tall as himself, without fear, salutes again, and trots to the rock wall, swinging it with surprisingly professional clangs. I nod in satisfaction. A divine chef and tank, an elven marksman, plus an all-around support fellain. The team is taking shape. The digging becomes much livelier. Daihei's swings are steady and powerful. Charlie's much lighter, but his small body bursts with strength, efficiency not far behind. I leisurely guard the smelting furnace, occasionally forging white-quality spears and iron axes for the trading channel to exchange for basic materials and strange items others dug up. Just as I finish the third simple spear, a startled meow shatters the harmony. Charlie shoots out like a cannonball, darts behind Liana, and stares nervously at the entrance Daihei has just dug open. Liana slides sideways to shield him, longbow already drawn, the cold arrow tip pointed at the entrance. From the darkness, a figure in a dark robe slowly emerges, a huge canvas backpack on his back swaying. He raises both hands high with a forced friendly smile, telling us he means no harm, that he is just a passing merchant here to do business. The wandering merchant who has been causing such a stir in the area channel, I did not expect to run into him so soon. I signal Liana to calm down, but the elf's bow remains undropped, the arrow tip moving only slightly downward. I step forward and a trade interface pops up, divided into buy and exchange. I click buy first. Rye bread, 20 ore coins. Purified water, 20 ore coins. 3 white blueprints at 200 to 250 each. As expected, a ripoff. I switch to exchange. The merchant chuckles in a horse traveler's voice that as a connoisseur he is more interested in ancient legacies sleeping underground, technological creations from the old era, or works of art representing the brilliance of civilization. My heart stirs. I happen to have that abstract oil painting no one understood that I exchanged for 2 portions of food. I take out the phones and the painting together. The merchant glances at the phones disinterestedly, says 1 ore coin no more. Then his gaze falls on the painting and his eyes change. He carefully strokes the canvas with gloved hands, recognizing the bold use of color and wild brushstrokes of the Berserk period from 20,000 years ago, on the eve of the Great Cataclysm. Truly a masterpiece. He offers 400 ore coins for the painting, plus a blueprint from his private collection. Not those common goods on the shelf, as thanks for letting him see such an exquisite work. Sure profit. I tell him deal. He snaps his fingers and the transaction completes instantly. System notifications confirm 400 ore coins and 1 dilapidated well blueprint, white quality, requires 50 stone, after construction produces 50 units of water, daily, unpurified and cannot be directly consumed, can only be built once. So that is it. The water consumed by the shower originates here. The merchant tells me pleasure doing business, and to find him again if I have such good things, that his goods will update as Lord's exploration progresses. He turns and walks back into the entrance, which slowly closes back into solid rock wall. Daihei chimes in, still wary that this person is elusive. I tell him it is fine as long as it brings benefits, and use the blueprint on the empty space in front of the small house. With a rumble, the ground sinks, and a dilapidated well of rough stone blocks rises. 1 stone at the wellhead missing a corner. Weathered. The well's panel reads 50 out of 50, but extracting requires a bucket. That is easy. I forge a large iron bucket at the smelting furnace that holds 10 units. With water, the next steps are logical. I use both the shower room blueprint and the wooden water tank blueprint. Next to the toilet, a 5 square meter stone shower room rises. Polished stone slab floor, an iron shower head, a square wooden tank on the roof. I carry the bucket back and forth 5 times to transfer all 50 units from the well to the tank, sweating profusely. I announce I am going to take a shower first, that they can go after, that it has been 3 days and time for a good clean. I spend 1 bread on the trade channel for a bar of soap with cheap fragrance. Inside, I turn on the shower head. Warm water pours down, washing away the dust and fatigue of recent days. I let out a comfortable sigh and even hum an off-key tune. In this oppressive dark mine tunnel, an independent space to wash away dirt and fatigue is emperor-level enjoyment. 15 minutes later, I emerge refreshed. My status bar shows clean lasting 24 hours, disease resistance plus 50%. Daihei says he is tough and will wait until he finishes digging. Charlie shakes his head vigorously, saying Felinays only bathe once in a long while. So the task falls to Liana. She silently leans her bow against the wall, picks up the soap, and walks in. Soon water splashes inside. I sit on the bed wiping my spear. About 10 minutes later, the water stops and the door is gently pushed open. Liana walks out. I instinctively look up. Her wet silver hair is no longer tied into a ponytail but cascades loosely over her shoulders, water droplets sliding down the ends onto her fair collarbone. She wears a white short-sleeved shirt from a white chest. The delicate lines of her shoulders and neck, usually hidden by leather armor, now visible. Perhaps from the steam, a faint blush colors her fair cheeks. Her emerald eyes, like gems washed by water, clear and bright with subtle bewilderment. I quickly avert my gaze. She silently picks up her bow again, and as it returns to her hand, she transforms back into the calm, composed elven archer, walking to the front of the house to keep watch. Just then, Daehei's roar suddenly comes from the rock wall, filled with shock and ecstasy that he thinks he dug up a monster. I grab my dual blades and rush over. Liana is even faster, already sliding forward, bowstring drawn. Daehei retreats to a defensive stance. The rock wall has cracked open. From the pitch-black entrance, a heavy breathing comes with rustling hooves and a smell of earthy dampness and wild beast musk. With a low growl, a massive creature bursts out. A giant wild boar covered in dirty grayish-yellow bristles, 2-foot-long tusks glowing chilling yellow, blood-red eyes locked on Daehei. The great wild boar, white common, 300 health, 20 attack, 10 defense, low-level monster with thick skin and tough flesh. Beware its charge. Charlie yelps. All his fur stands on end. Daehei stays calm, swaps to ladle, lowers his stance. Liana's eyes are terrifyingly calm, finger on the bowstring. Charlie suddenly darts out from behind Liana, blocking everyone, saying leave it to him, he knows this guy. His paw flashes into the disproportionate satchel and pulls out a miniature powder keg, fuse sizzling with sparks. He twists his little waist and sends the keg in a precise parabola, landing right in front of the boar's charging path. A muffled explosion. The dust cloud and shockwave precisely interrupt the charge. The boar stumbles, body tilting sideways, letting out a confused roar. Charlie darts out, almost skimming the ground, a three-colored blur. The paw-tipped staff transforms during the charge. The paw decoration suddenly swells into a wooden paw-shaped great hammer larger than Charlie himself. -30. Charlie leaps high, and the hammer lands squarely on the boar's forehead, eyes rolling back, briefly stunned. He drives in another hammer blow against the joint of the boar's front leg. Sharp crack, -35, mournful shriek as the leg buckles unnaturally. The boar crashes forward, tusks driven deep into the rock floor, hind legs kicking futilely. Charlie gives no chance, swinging in wide arcs and pounding the back of its head. As the boar pulls its head free, it is greeted by a giant paw rapidly growing in vision. -40. The world falls silent. The great wild boar doesn't even whimper, motionless belly up. The corpse dissipates into specks of light, leaving a few items. We are all dumbfounded. Daehei stands with his mouth open, ladle still in defensive posture. Liana slowly lowers her bow, emerald eyes filled with disbelief. My eye twitches. This is what they call a normal talent summoning card. That combat awareness. Item use, decisive finishing blow. This is clearly a battle-hardened berserker. Charlie shakes the hammer back to a small staff, walks over, nudges the spoils with his paw, looks back as if asking for praise, says, "Boss, it's done." I pick up the items. 2 raw meat, 1 softened beast hide. I squat down, rub Charlie's furry head, and ask whether he calls this a normal talent, whether the system made a mistake. He purrs that he doesn't really remember, but it feels like he used to deal with these big guys often, that his body just moved on its own. Daehei comes over, scratching his head with admiration that little Charlie's skill is much more nimble than his as a cook. Liana walks over too. Though she doesn't speak, the look in her eyes holds more recognition. The little fellaine has won everyone's respect through one swift battle. I hand the 2 pieces of raw meat to Daehei for an extra meal. Charlie raises his little paw and asks if he can have this, that barbecue is his specialty. The sentence stuns all 3 of us. Daehei's eyes widen further at little Charlie also being able to cook. Charlie puffs out his small chest proudly that, of course, that as an excellent feline, being skilled both on the battlefield and in the kitchen is the most basic requirement. That his barbecue is absolutely superb. I find his serious little demeanor amusing and hand over the bone-in piece, telling him, "Let us see your skill." He excitedly takes it and rummages in the bulging satchel. The next second, a shiny rotating grill comes out seemingly from nowhere, complete with burning charcoal underneath. He places the meat on the rack, flips a switch, and the grill rotates with a sizzling sound. Charlie stands paws on hips, humming an off-key tune about grilling fast and adding spices. The bright red raw meat rapidly turns from red to white to appetizing golden yellow, a rich aroma mixed with peculiar spice scent permeating the entire tunnel. Daehei and I cannot help but swallow. The whole process takes barely 20 seconds. Charlie turns off the grill and proudly holds up the huge sizzling piece. Daehei voices doubt that it's done already, the outside burnt and inside still raw. Charlie says the Feline's secret grill prioritizes efficiency any longer and it would be overcooked, and presents it to me to try. Feline's secret barbecue, green excellent, after consumption constitution +1 for 1 hour, immediately restores small stamina and completely removes fatigue. Tender and juicy, crispy outside and soft inside, takes a bite when tired and energy is instantly full, a miracle cure for miners. I tear off a large piece. My teeth break through the crispy, fragrant crust. Scalding meat juices burst forth, the meat unbelievably tender. Fatigue from days of mining is truly swept away, body filled with strength. I hand it to Daehei and Liana. Daehei cautiously tears a small piece, savors it, eyes opening filled with shock and admiration that the heat control, the way the juices are sealed in, it's incredible. He looks at Charlie as if at a monster and says little Charlie's skill is divine, that he is impressed. Coming from him, the weight is self-evident. Liana eats small bites. Her emerald eyes are curved into beautiful crescents from smiling. Charlie scratches the back of his head and giggles. Another afternoon passes. Both pickaxes break. Besides basic stone and copper ore, we only dig out one unlucky wild dog. The beast pokes its head out, and Daehei solidly whacks it on the forehead with his ladle. It vanishes into a flash without dropping a single hair. Dinner is braised pork belly Daehei makes from the last wild boar meat, stewed tender and flavorful, glistening with oil. The three of us and one cat eat with rye bread, mouths slick. Afterward, we temporarily gain 2 points of physique. Daehei wipes his mouth and pats his belly, saying tonight feels peaceful, that the last 2 nights were full of monsters and earthquakes, so the quiet is unsettling. The mine tunnel is silent save for occasional licking from Charlie. Liana leans against the wall quietly wiping her bow, silver hair faintly glowing. The chat channel fills with relief, fear of another monster siege. Wishing each other good night, may we live to see tomorrow. Just as the peaceful atmosphere settles, a blood-red distress message abruptly pops up. Someone is digging through their wall. A person outside who has weapons. Trade all food for one, save them. The channel falls silent, stunned, then floods with messages. Digging through walls. Who is digging? Isn't it monsters the system didn't warn? He said person, it's a player. Impossible, how can someone get into another's tunnel? The distressed player keeps frantically sending despair, that he can hear the sound, that he doesn't want to die. Then his avatar darkens. No more messages, chilling coldness permeates the channel. Everyone understands he is dead. Before anyone recovers, a cold, emotionless system announcement pops up. Blood-red text, stinging eyes. Region announcement. Player B21888 has successfully plundered a player for the first time. The plundering function is officially activated. Plunder allows you to randomly connect to other players' mine tunnels using a minecart. After defeating the target, you can plunder all items and resources in their backpack. First successful plunder reward. Marauder's leather armor, green, excellent. The channel completely explodes. Random connection, how the hell do we sleep? It's over, now we don't just guard against monsters but against people too. B21888, that's a devil. Panic spreads like a plague, everyone feeling stripped naked and thrown into a dark jungle. My expression also darkens. This world has finally revealed its most brutal side. Monsters are terrifying, but the human heart is always more terrifying. Daehei's voice is dry, his hand already gripping the ladle. Liana straightens, sharp gaze sweeping the rock walls. Even the usually lively Charlie quietly hides behind Liana. I take a deep breath and force calm. Random connection requires a minecart. That item is rare, not everyone will have one. Even if someone comes digging through rock, it takes time enough for us to react. Right, we are not that helpless player. We have a divine chef, master archer, and explosive feline. Whoever dares come will leave their life behind. My gaze returns to the channel where panic still escalates. They add me directly. Big shot 9527, sell me a weapon, I'll trade a blueprint. All my iron ingot for one, save me, I don't want to die. Danger comes with opportunity. I had forged 5 more white-quality simple spears as spares, but they have a better destination. I list all 5, prioritizing blueprints, special items, expansion scrolls, then rare materials. Almost instantly, my private messages flood. I filter the most valuable offers and complete several trades. A simple water purifier blueprint fragment, 1 of 3 mine tunnel space expansion cards of 1 square meter, a crude torch blueprint. The water purifier needs only 1 more fragment, but water isn't an issue right now. The expansion cards make the shelter more spacious and the torch dispels darkness. From today, the most dangerous things in the mine tunnel are no longer monsters, but our silent neighbors. A new day. Daehei and Charlie have begun a new round of excavation. Liana holds her bow, quietly guarding nearby. I sit in front of the small hut wiping my wolf-fang twin blades, while leisurely browsing the area channel, my important daily method for acquiring information and searching for junk. After a series of recycle operations, 10 green chests are stacked at my feet. With a wave they open instantly. I obtain a large hammer, 5 copper ingot, a mine tunnel space expansion card of 1 square meter, and so on. I open 9 in a row, all basic weapons, materials, and expansion cards, without a shadow of a blueprint. Such bad luck. I reach for the last chest. As the light fades, what lies quietly is not metal or parchment but a small cloth bag emitting the fresh scent of earth. Mixed vegetable seeds, green excellent, contains various vegetable seeds, can be used in planting areas, harvestable 24 hours after sowing, usage is 100 out of 100, with a note that achieving a bountiful harvest is not as simple as just throwing seeds into the soil. Finally, something useful. I noticed 3 more people have put up smelting furnace rentals on the trade channel. With many players in the region, my rental remains stable and resources are still slowly increasing. I put the few weapons up for trade and quickly exchanged them for several expansion cards, including those from chests, exactly 20 square meters. Use all. The rock walls extend with a low rumble. Mine tunnel area 147 square meters. Looking at the extra space, I remember the planting box blueprint I had obtained but never used. I have been in this world several days, eating only bread or roasted meat. The dishes Dehei generates for free, mostly staples and meat. No vegetables, nutrition becoming unbalanced. Crafting a planting box requires wood and soil. Soil is rare in this rocky tunnel, but the trade channel is omnipotent. I exchanged 2 bottles of purified water for 5 portions of soil. Make 5. As my thought moves, 5 wooden boxes half a meter square appear filled with moist soil. Charlie drops his pickaxe and runs over, excitedly circling, asking are we going to plant vegetables. I shake the seed bag and ask whether he knows how. Of course, planting is a compulsory course for felony. It needs water and fertilizer. We have a well, so water is fine. But this fertilizer. He paws the soil, sniffs and shakes his head that this soil isn't very nutritious, that he remembers a monster called a herbivore he used to hunt whose dung makes the best fertilizer. Monster dung. I am momentarily stunned. Just as I'm debating whether to ruin my bid shot image by asking for dung in the channel, a message pops up. Someone is mad they just dug up a wild ox and finally killed it, hoping to eat beef, but it only dropped a few clumps of dung that disgusted them. Mocking replies follow about being unluckiest of the year. Brother, is the system telling you to plaster walls? My eyes light up. I click his avatar and ask if that thing is still there. The reply is a string of question marks, then asking is it Big Shot 9527. Yes, I type. Do you sell that thing? He is silent a few seconds, asking what I want it for since besides being disgusting it's useless. I make up an excuse that I'm doing some research, seeing if it can be used as fuel. Fuel? Can this stuff burn? He is stunned, then says Big Shot's ideas are different from ours. Take it. He was just worried about it taking up space. I directly say 1 bottle of purified water for everything he just dropped. Deal. Joy almost overflowing the screen. The trade completes. My backpack now contains 10 items emitting a peculiar smell. Fresh ox dung, white common, a pure natural product rich in organic matter, with a friendly reminder that it might make me have strange associations with my dinner brownies. My eyelid twitches. I show the illustration to Charlie and ask if this can be used. Yes, very useful. His eyes shining, although not as good as herbivore, still excellent fertilizer. Dehei also evaluates seriously that look at the color. This wild ox must have had good food daily. Fertility is definitely sufficient. Listening to these professional comments from a man in a feline, I feel I am still too young. I take a deep breath, open the planting box page, and reluctantly select fresh ox dung as additive. All 5 planting boxes glow with green aura. Planting box has gained ample nutrient status, can plant vegetation, plant growth speed plus 400%, remaining time 48 hours, now only need 24 hours, now only need 6. I can harvest 4 batches every day. In the moist soil, tender green shoots have already broken through, growing at visible speed. Fresh vegetables, a stable food source, and potentially a new hard currency. My lips finally curl up. In this world where everyone is gnawing dry bread, I am about to achieve vegetable freedom. Nighttime. There are no monsters, no earthquakes, only a rare tranquility. 2 torches stick into the rock wall, and beside the cabin, an old hand-cranked gramophone slowly turns, playing a soothing piano melody. This classical-era quietude is completely out of place, yet strangely comforting. Dehei is busy in the open kitchenette, dicing meat and adding plump radishes from the planting box, stewing a pot of fragrant soup. Liana sits on the doorstep maintaining her bow, silver hair under the soft crystal lamp like flowing moonlight. Charlie chases his own tail rolling around. In this moment there is no hunger and no danger, only firelight, the scent of food, and companions. I lean back in a deck chair wiping my twin blades, and a strange illusion of home arises. My motion suddenly pauses. An inexplicable chill crawls up my spine, fine goosebumps rising. My body is sounding the most primal alarm. I tell everyone to stop. My voice is not loud but stops the kitchen clatter, the elf's humming, and the feline's playful noises. Everyone follows my line of sight to the unremarkable rock wall to the side. A faint continuous sound comes from behind, as if rats are gnawing the structure. Very soft but terrifyingly clear. A blood-red system notification pops up. A player has connected to my mind tunnel using a special item and is attempting to breach the rock wall. Prepare defenses. My gaze turns cold. I stand and signal to Dehei and Liana. Dehei tightens his grip on the ladle and grabs the shield, positioning like a wall in front of me. Liana silently slips to the side of the wall, draws her bow and knocks an arrow, melting into shadow, leaving only emerald eyes flashing cold light. The digging grows louder. With a deafening crash, the wall explodes. A rusty minecart bursts out, wheels grinding the floor. A bald, muscular man leaps out, robust in simple leather armor, holding a long spear glowing eerie green. He slams the spear down, strikes a pose he believes intimidating, and bellows for me to hand over all the food and water and he will spare my life otherwise. His roar stops abruptly as he sees the scene before him. The trembling lone wolf player he expected is nowhere to be found. Instead, there is a young man holding twin blades, eyes terrifyingly calm. In front stands a fat cook, with ladle and shield. In the shadows, a flash of silver hair appears with a cold gleaming arrow aimed at his brow. Even more ridiculous, a fluffy calico cat holds a staff taller than itself, examining him with curiosity. The bald strongman's brain crashes. What is this? A family dinner? Is this seriously a beginner's tunnel? The setup is more luxurious than a monster lair. Ferocity freezes into terror. Cannot win. Without hesitation, he turns to climb back onto the cart. An arrow whizzes past his ear and lodges firmly in the cart, fletching still vibrating. He freezes completely, cold sweat breaking. He can feel the next arrow will be in his head. Survival instinct overrules everything. His knees buckle and he drops to the ground, hands raised high, crying tearfully that he was wrong, that he was just crazy with hunger, that he just got this minecart and wanted to try his luck for some food, that he really did not mean to kill anyone. I walk forward and look down. I ask indifferently whether he is B21888. He shakes his head like a rattle drum. That absolutely not. He is not that murderer. He is B26734. Liana steps out frowning, her cool voice carrying confusion. Since he has a rare item like a minecart, why didn't he trade it on the platform for food? The bald strongman freezes blank, blinks twice, then a few seconds later slaps his thigh, his face filled with regret and sudden realization. That's right. Why did he try to rob? Would not it have been better to just sell it for food? I am momentarily speechless. Daihei bursts into laughter, making his ladle shake. This guy must be an idiot. Just then he abruptly lifts his head and frantically swipes through the air. A new system notification appears. The raid against me has failed. This player has chosen to surrender. Do I accept? Option A, accept surrender. This player will be branded with my soul mark and become my captive. I will permanently receive 10% of his daily basic resource output as tax. I can decide his life or death at any time. This player cannot resist or betray me. Option B, refuse surrender. This player dies immediately. I may loot all non-bound items in his backpack. So this is what surrender means. The bald strongman clearly sees a similar prompt. His face goes pale, the last shred of hope vanishing. He had thought surrendering just meant paying protection money. He cries that he is willing to be a captive. Please don't kill him. Tears and snot streaming as he frantically kowtows. He says look at his backpack. 2 bottles of water and a piece of rye bread. Scattered stone and wood. Dirt poor. I stroke my chin. Killing this idiot would only yield some materials, but a completely loyal laborer who could pay daily taxes seems like a good option, and I could give him one specific task. I tell him if he wants to live he may. Thank you, big shot. He feels granted a general pardon. However, I tell him starting today he has a mission. Every day go to the chat channel and help me watch for and acquire all high-tech electronic products, luxury goods, and artwork that people treat as trash. Since I do not have time to monitor the channel, the bald strongman is stunned. Acquire electronic products. He abruptly lifts his head, looks at me with the gaze reserved for a deity, voice trembling, asking acquiring e-waste. Am I? Are you Big Shot 9527? I neither confirm nor deny. He takes it as confirmation, mumbling that he actually tried to rob Big Shot 9527, like a rat being a bridesmaid for a cat. I interrupt his self-reprimand and tell him from now on he belongs to me, that everything he saw and heard here today stays buried, that if he dares reveal a single word, my eyes finishing the sentence. He nods frantically that he understands. He cautiously asks may he leave now. Wait. He drops back to his knees with a thud, grabbing my calf and wailing not to kill him. I am exasperated and kick him away, telling him I did not say I was going to kill him, that he is going to help me acquire things but he is dirt poor himself. What will he use to buy them? I take 20 bottles of purified water and 20 servings of rye bread from my backpack and toss them over, telling him this is seed money, that every morning at 8 o'clock sharp he should send me the acquired items via the trade panel. He stares at the small mountain of food and water. Since arriving in this world he had never seen so much to eat. Tears flood. This 6'3" strongman weeps like a 300-pound child, swearing that he, Lee Daewoo, will never forget my kindness and will work hard to repay. So his name is Lee Daewoo. I wave him off. He climbs onto the cart, profusely thanking me, and before leaving, turns back sincerely that the cart can still be used twice, that he will trade it to me as soon as he gets back. He drives the cart and disappears into the hole he just smashed open. Moments later, the hole heals as if nothing happened. A minute later, my private chat lights up with a trade request from Lee Daewoo. Mine cart quality unknown, usages remaining 2. Once activated, can randomly link to any player's tunnel in this area. Choose to cooperate or plunder. Every choice may change destiny. Maximum carry 5. I accept it. Look at the tunnel return to peace, and the corner of my mouth lifts. This world is becoming more interesting. Next morning, before the magic crystal is fully lit, my system panel lights up with a trade request from Lee Daewoo. A neatly organized list. 5 complete smartphones, 2 unknown high-tech chips, 1 high-tech prosthetic fragment, 1 piece of broken exoskeleton armor chest plate, 1 unknown technological metal part. Quite efficient. I trade water and bread as payment, then tell Spinner to get to work. Most evaluations end with a green chest option. It is not until Spinner hovers over what Lee Daewoo called the metal lump that its chassis emits a piercing alarm. High concentration energy residue, deep evaluation of unknown energy core fragment, value high, technology extremely high, completeness severely damaged. Choose A15 iron ingots, 15 copper ingots, 1 gold ingot, or B1 blue chest. I choose B without hesitation. 9 green chests plus 1 blue chest stacked. I open all 9 greens. Aside from basic materials and food, I open a housing upgrade card and a damaged Arrow Tower blueprint. The card can reinforce the simple cabin once. The Arrow Tower blueprint makes my eyes light up. Damaged Siege Arrow Tower. Requires 1 green quality bow, 10 wood, 30 stone, 5 iron ingots, 50 attack power, 5-second attack speed, automatic target lock, requires arrows. An automatic defensive turret. Bow-type weapons are rarely seen for sale, rare commodities. I'll keep an eye out since I cannot use Liana's weapon. I turn to the blue chest. There is no equipment nor blueprints. A simple ancient book lies inside. On the cover, words formed by runes emit a faint glow. Pickaxe enchantment book. Toughness. Can enchant a basic pickaxe granting toughness. Damage rate reduced to 4%. A godsend. I use it immediately. The book transforms into 2 streams of light that drill into the pickaxes Daehei and Charlie use. The 2 ordinary pickaxes hum, complex deep blue runes appearing on the handles. Tough pickaxe. Daily refresh quantity. 2. 4% damage chance. Treasure rate plus 10. We can dig more good things now. Daehei picks up his and feels the steady texture, eyes filled with surprise. Charlie hugs his pickaxe and rubs his cheek against the cool runes. They throw themselves into excavation. I use all the expansion cards from trades and chests. Mine tunnel area 158 square meters. Just then Charlie suddenly lets out a series of frantic meows, his little paws scratching at a newly excavated rock wall. A corner of a wooden box inlaid with silver metal is exposed. Not a system chest, but an exquisite carved box emitting a faint soft glow. Liana trembles slightly the moment she sees it, a hint of confusion and nostalgia in her emerald eyes, murmuring barely audibly, "Elven weapon box." She walks forward and gently strokes the patterns as if touching a lost memory, saying she cannot remember but it's very familiar. I tell her let us open it. Maybe there's something inside that will help her remember. The box opens with a soft green glow like a forest morning, carrying the fragrance of grass and earth. A pair of elegantly streamlined hand crossbows glowing with moonlight sheen lie inside. Standard elven hand crossbow, moonlight enchantment, advanced green fine, attack 25 to 35, range 100 meters, armor penetration 5% chance to ignore part of target's defense, moonlight in nighttime environments, attack plus 10, effective only for elf race. These attributes completely surpass ordinary green and could rival some blue. I hand them to Liana. The moment her fingers touch them, the moon-white runes seem to come alive. She thanks me, the coldness in her eyes melting slightly. I tell her these are her elven things. I casually pick up the green longbow she has replaced. The weapon for the arrow tower? I have it now. I activate the house upgrade card costing 20 wood, 50 stone, 20 iron nails. The card engulfs the simple hut in wood and stone fly and assemble themselves into a sturdy brick and stone 2-story building. The first floor has polished stone bricks with a small fireplace. The ceiling is wood coated with tung oil emitting faint fragrance. The second floor has wooden flooring and a small 3-square-meter balcony with a clothesline rod. Charlie rushes in excitedly. Liana quietly looks at the second floor. I tell her the second floor is hers. She nods slightly, hugs her crescent crossbow, and walks up. Charlie drags the elven weapon box he uses as a bed up to the second floor, lines it with soft old clothes, and curls up purring. I walk to the center of the tunnel and take out the Arrow Tower blueprint. As materials disappear, the ground vibrates and a 6-meter defensive structure quickly takes shape. Stone forms the base. Thick logs build the frame. Inside the simple shed at the top, a green light pulses suspending the phantom of a longbow. Damaged Siege Arrow Tower constructed. Quality green excellent, attack 50, attack speed 5 seconds, range 30 meters, knockback plus 1, arrows currently 0 of 200. I forged 200 simple arrows and load them. Seeing the phantom bundles appearing beneath the shed, I feel much more secure. Noon approaches. Daehei stews clear soup using fresh vegetables, slices the leftover wolf meat, pairs with chili peppers from the planting box, stir-fries over high heat. As he is holding the wok to scoop out the fried meat, a blinding, dazzling golden light erupts from him, illuminating the entire tunnel as if daytime. My heart tightens. The light fades fast. Daehei is still holding the wok, his face filled with confusion, telling me he thinks he leveled up. He weighs the spatula and says he feels he could smash stone with this. I open his attribute panel. Daehei, human, god of food. Level 2 can be increased by creating special dishes. Loyalty 88 natural follower. Health 1000, strength 45, agility 35, physique 50, spirit 21, attack 70 to 95, defense 48, my pupil's contract. Just one level up and the value's nearly doubled, especially strength 45 and physique 50. This is no longer a cook. This is a heavily armored warrior wearing a chef's uniform. After all my hard work opening chests and changing equipment, my total stats combined do not even match what he gained from a single level. The growth potential of special talents is outrageous. Liana and Charlie circle Daehei. Liana softly congratulates Master Daehei. Charlie chirps that he is amazing. I ask how much longer until they level up. Liana feels the changes and says with the accumulation it should be soon. Charlie flicks his tail that he is still a bit short, just arrived, needs to wait. I tell them no rush, let's eat first. Afternoon, mining continues. With the enchanted pickaxe in their hands, efficiency is improved. Charlie suddenly meows frantically, his paws scratching a rock wall just excavated. A dark black cave entrance has appeared. Before I assume an instance, a system notification pops up. I had disturbed the nest of the radiation moles. 8 or 9 hairless crimson-skinned monsters with dagger-sharp teeth rush out. Mole-sized, they immediately burrow underground and vanish. Liana warns to watch our feet. I activate perception to the fullest, hearing the trajectory underground. There are too many, we retreat into the house. The brick and stone foundation is sturdy. Liana rushes to the second-floor balcony and draws. Daehei, Charlie, and I guard the first floor. A mole bursts out near the house, unable to dig through the stone foundation. Before Liana releases, a massive arrow descends from the sky and pins the mole's head to the ground. The arrow tower. The remaining moles burrow out and rush the entrance. Liana's arrows fly out, never missing. Daehei holds the doorway with shield, batting stragglers away with his spatula. Mole corpses lie scattered, most pierced by the gigantic arrows. My followers and defensive structure killed radiation moles 10 times. I obtained fangs 10. The dark cave entrance has not disappeared. A streak of green light shines from deep within, and a massive figure crawls out. A giant mole the size of a small calf. Ominous green phosphorescence. Glowing radiation mole elite. Green grade. Health 1000. Attack 35. Defense 20. Mutant from excessive radiation. Beware its teeth. Being bitten may result in radiation corrosion. Cannot let it close. Charlie quickly throws out a peculiar device flashing with electric light, landing right in front of the door. The elite roars and burrows underground again. My focus sharpens. Perception senses its trajectory, and moments later it bursts out near the doorway. The arrow tower strikes its back. Liana's arrow pierces a front claw. The elite charges recklessly toward the door and steps directly onto Charlie's device. Yellow electricity erupts, paralyzing it. Now, I rush out with the twin blades. The arrow tower's giant arrow, Liana's cold arrow, Daehei's heavy spatula, plus my storm of twin blades. All attacks pour onto the elite moles simultaneously. It does not even have time to cry before crashing to the ground, dissolving into points of light. I obtained 1 old nuclear fusion core, 2 radiation meat. The second floor balcony shines with brilliant golden light. A bright pillar envelops Liana, her aura surging. She leveled up. The experience from the elite direwolf and direwolf leader was already substantial. Another elite kill brings her up. The light fades and Liana leaps lightly down, demeanor gaining sharpness. Liana, elf, archer, level 2, loyalty 89, health 360, strength 20, agility 35, physique 18, spirit 18, attack 45 to 60, defense 30, agility soared directly to 35. Seeing a heavy tank and a phantom archer beside me, I feel reassured. I pick up the green nuclear fusion core, an unprecedented sense of confidence welling up. The night deepens, firelight illuminating the new stone house warm and cozy. I put the old fusion core into my backpack to see if I can recycle it tomorrow. Aside from the moles, the daytime digging only yields 2 blind wild boars, a few pieces of raw meat, and 2 pieces of softened beast hide. Just before bedtime, 2 wretched-looking goblins suddenly drill out of the wall holding an oil lamp and pickaxe, sneaking around as if working overtime. Before they react, a cold arrow from the second floor balcony pins one. The other is struck on the forehead by Daehei's shovel, instantly dead. Killed miner goblin times 2. I obtained miner's small oil lamp. Daehei blows the dust off it and hangs it on the door frame. Just as I think the night will pass uneventfully and am about to enjoy the all stats +1 buff, a dazzling golden announcement pops up on everyone's panel. Mine World announcement. Dear survivors, congratulations on tenaciously surviving the first 5 days. To reward your efforts, the first limited time event, the Treasure Goblin Points race, is about to begin. Event rules. In 15 minutes, treasure goblins will spawn inside all players' tunnels. This monster will not attack proactively, but its speed is extremely fast. Killing it has a chance to drop chests or items and awards points. Point rules. White backpack 1 point, green 10, blue 100. Higher levels explore on your own. Event duration 15 minutes. Event rewards. Top 3 regional ranking get special rewards. The chat erupts with disbelief that the system changed its mind. Players begging to be carried or watching helplessly because their pickaxes broke. I close the channel calmly. This is an opportunity. I gather the team. The goblins are numerous and fast. Our goal is to not let a single one escape. I glance at the defense tower, count 1 of 4, and decide we must maximize our defenses. I trade green equipment and food for 3 sets of green bow equipment, then invest resources without hesitation. 30 wood, 90 stone, 15 iron ingots, 3 slight tremors, and 3 dilapidated arrow towers identical to the first rise in 3 corners, forming a comprehensive firing network. Defense tower count 4 of 4. Warning, current limit reached. I forge over 700 more arrows, completely filling the towers. I tell Liana to free fire from the 2nd floor, prioritizing the fast ones. Daehei to guard the entrance with shield and spatula handling stragglers. Charlie to pick up the loot, since picking up is the most important mission. Do not miss a single chest. Charlie puffs out his little chest looking serious. I grip the Wolfang twin blades, stand in the center, perception activated to maximum. Event countdown 3, 2, 1. Treasure Goblin points race start.